Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for Super Rugby Pacific round 3. This is the second day of action that we are seeing for round 3. And this first game, it is going to be an absolutely awesome one. The Blues taking on the Chiefs. And what should be a close game? I have a feeling, but who knows? Maybe we do get to see one side run away with it. But if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Eden Park is going to be the location of this matchup, which will be starting at about not 30. That's too long. Sitting at about maybe 18 minutes away from the start of this game. We've got everyone in the chat. We have also got Reed Nichols there. Shane is here. Carlos is here. And also Power Force, Johnny Blaze and Caleb. Welcome into the live stream, guys. And do let me know who you think will be able to go on and win this match. It's relatively warm here in New Zealand at the moment. So I believe Eden Park, it will be a very nice afternoon for a little bit of rugby between two sides that want to try and find themselves in that top 4, if not maybe even a little bit higher in this competition at the end of the group stage. But this is how we are sitting currently as the competition sits. The Crusaders in first, sitting on 14 points. The Reds, they're on 13. Then the Brumbies, followed by the Waratahs and the Western Force. Of course, the Reds yesterday getting themselves their victory over the Western Force. Crusaders winning up against Moana Pacifica in their first matchup. Game that is following this one, Highlanders taking on the Hurricanes. So this will be a very interesting contest. See who does end up getting the better of it. We will have to, of course, wait and see. We'll go through the starting lineups and reserves in a very short moment. We have also got the yo in there from Paddy Wagon. Hope you're hyped up, mate, because this is going to be an absolutely awesome fixture between the Blues and the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they've got a strong side, but the Blues, they have gone out all guns blazing. They have got an absolutely insanely good side here. This is the side that they've gone with Alex Hodgman, Kurt Eklund, and Nepo Lalala as the front row. Luke Romano doing well last week. Now gets the slot in with Josh Goodhue once again. I almost said Jack. I'm that used to saying Jack, and also Luke Romano from the Crusaders days. Then the loose forward trio, it was strong last week. It's just getting stronger. Tom Robertson, Hoskins Atutu, and the return of Dalton Papali. Finley Christie there at 9 with Harry Plummer at 10. Roger Tuivasa-sheck making his Super Rugby debut last week up against the Hurricanes in what was a very hard-fought victory right down to the wire. And then the Hurricanes, they were able to get themselves a win. Outside him will be Rico Ioane, Caleb Clark there at number 11, Mark Talia at number 14, and then Stephen Perofeta does get to start at 15. That is due to Sullivan getting a breakdown. Cheese Mana in there as well, and also Cheer Brother Can't Wait, and I'm going for the Blues for this one, and up the Blues, and also Dalton Papali's versus Old Dog Samuel Kane. Says that Johnny Blaze, it should be a very good battle, and hey, up the Blues. Hope you're all well. Says Katie Dixon, we are indeed. Other than, I guess, just it being quite warm, I guess, because normally, like, that's the thing. Adding the lights in, this is going to be like a sauna, but it's going to be hot out there on the field for these two sides because both of them know how important this game's going to be in their Super Rugby season. If you can get a win up against another New Zealand side, that is one thing, but getting a win up against, I guess you could say, their rival in some regard, it will be pretty awesome for either of these sides if they do end up getting the victory. Looking through at who else we have got there, this is the Chiefs lineup that they have decided to go with. Aiden Ross, Samasoni Takiaho, and Sione Mafaleo. They will be the front row. Josh Lord and Brody Retallick. We've got the youngster with the oldster, the veteran, I guess is a better way of putting it for big Brody Retallick, who was able to have a sensational offload in that first game up against the Highlanders. Tupavai at 6, Sam Kane at 7, and Peter Gasawakula is going to be there at number 8. Brad Weber at 9 with Josh Ioane, who's recently transferred from the Highlanders. He's going all right in that fly half role, and we'll be hoping to continue his form into this matchup. Quintupai, Alex Nankerville, it's the 12 and 13 with Atenai Nana Satora, one wing, Sean Stevenson out on the other, and then Chase Tiatia slotting in at fullback for the Chiefs. We have also got there, I hope my hometown wins, or my town wins, because I'm from Hamilton, and there is our Power Forces here in the chat. I hope you guys are all doing well. And hello, Johnny Blaze and Katie Dixon, and there says Patty. And currently, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who's going to score the first try of this match, the exact player. It's going to be a tricky one to predict because we know how strong both of these sides can be on the get-go. And currently looking through at the benches. And the reason I mention the benches is because there's some very good players, a few good returns coming for both of these sides. Ricky Riccatelli, Offa Tuangafasi, and Marcel Renata. They will be the front row replacements for the Blues. Sam Derry and Adrian Cho, who was in the starting lineup last week, now slots down to number 20. That is in the essence or in the presence of Dalton Papali. Sam Knock at 21, the return of Bowden Barrett at number 22 to the Blues. That is going to be a very good signing to have for themselves this year. And he didn't go to Japan, which is a big one, and he is going to be there at the Blues and will be replacing Harry Plummer later on in this match. AJ Lamb at number 23, an up-and-coming young talent. Brothers in France at the moment, Ben Lamb there He's stuck to the Blues, and he's going to be rearing to go. Bradley Slater, Ollie Norris, I should say, and Angus Tarval will be the front row. Nato Akoi and Kalen Boshia, followed by Xavier Rowe, Bryn Gatlin, and the return of Anton Leonard-Brown. So we've got a few All Blacks coming off the bench in the later stages. Definitely in those back lines, it's going to be exciting to see exactly what they can do. And I say All Blacks because we got Beauden Barrett, Anton Leonard-Brown, and perhaps future All Blacks and Xavier Rowe, AJ Lamb, perhaps. Who knows how it will go in the future for those youngsters. We have also got the Azio crowd there. I will have a quick look, see what we can see. I don't believe they will be allowed a big crowd, though. If there are people, probably less than 100 or less than 1,000, something along those lines. And also, Johnny, how are you, mate? And also, we have got there Melbourne Rebels lose the Fiji injury. You know, it's going to be a bad season for them when they lose at home to a new team that should have, or they should have beaten easily, says Katakoinen. And why is Jonah Lowe there? Why is Jonah Lowe not playing? I should say there. I believe it's just due to, unfortunately, maybe either resting or I hope it's not injury because he's been going very well. Angus Tarval is excellent in front of the camera average on the footy field as Blues in there, says Joel Lamy there. Currently, Dalton Papali'i in Super Rugby 2021, first for turnovers, 1/5 for tackles made, and 11th for clean breaks. We're talking about a flanker here, and he's on the clean breaks list at number 11, ahead of a lot of backs. So that is extremely impressive from Dalton Papali'i, and he will be excited to get out there. And also, hey, brother, how you doing? I'm well too. Hope you do. Hope you are too. Says Katie Dixon. And also, as the crowd says, Power Force, it seems very quiet if there are crowds. So I would say no at this point. We haven't really seen too many shots since I've transferred over to it in recent history. Looking around, doesn't look like there's a huge amount. And also, I thought Sam Whitelock retired. Nah, that man's going to be going till he's 40 easily. He just seems to just keep on going and going and going. Currently only 13 minutes away from the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But Dalton Papali'i, he's looking like a beast this season already, just from hitting the pads. By the looks of it, howdy all, RIP Warren. Yeah, that was the big breaking news of the night. Shane Warne, ex-Australian leg spinner. A lot of you guys will actually know him from the Ashes commentary as well. But yeah, he did end up passing away of a heart attack in Thailand, I believe it was, which was really, I guess, real big news on the Australian cricket side of it. Definitely because they only just lost Rod Marsh earlier on in the week. And also rip Shane Warne, I believe that is. And also hope you're womanising the female angels in cricket heaven, says Johnny Blaze. And also we've got there, how are you doing, Katie Dixon? I am well, says Brandon there. But currently the team's making their way off the field. These two sides, they've got a lot to prove here. The Blues coming off a loss in their first game up against the Hurricanes. And you would say they probably let it slip. They should have won that game comfortably, but they just took their gas pedal a little bit off in Thailand, aka on a bend. I think it was a family holiday, but yeah. I guess Thailand, I thought he would have been doing the commentary for in Pakistan Test match. But I guess how many Australian commentators or commentators have they got for that? And also we have got there, sad Sean, why no he died? Didn't he die after a game? Says Power Force. He didn't actually die related to rugby. It was actually a car accident early in the morning, I believe it was. And also we have got there, I have a question for you, Hamish. And there says Brandon, go for it, mate. But currently they are showing the difference between Finley Christie and Brad Webb, a couple All Blacks in there. And they are ready to go. Debut of 2014 for Brad Webber. So he's got a little bit more of the experience advantage over his younger counterpart, Christie. But they were both jockeying for that All Black starting position. That looked like a forward pass, but they said it was fine, I believe. But they are just showing how he went in round one versus the Highlanders. He was able to help himself to quite a few kicking meters and also only at the 4 carries, but he will be up against a very tough opposition in the young and talented Finley Christie. And also Powerfuls are been living under a rock. There is us to do so for that one. But currently, I see Caleb Clark there. I also see Big Tom Robertson. He will be one in the 4-pack to look out for throughout this game. He's at number 6. They got Adrian Choate as a replacement. And also, what is Will Jordan's best position for the All Blacks, right wing or fullback? Says Jimmy, I'd go right wing. Just because at this stage, it seems to be they're letting him have a little bit more of an opportunity at right wing. And I would rather see him at right wing and starting than getting a chance every 4th game at fullback, if that makes sense. I'd like to see him get a few more caps for himself, really cement himself in that starting lineup. And then if he decides, I want to go to fullback, hopefully he has, I guess, the authority to be able to say, I want to switch, kind of similar what we've seen from a couple of players in the past. Question for you, Hamish. Do you want me to say FBI Says Brandon, I mean, if you want to say it, you can. I'm not sure what it has to do with this one at this point in time, but if you do want to say it out loud, you go for it, mate. Although you might have to explain to whoever runs into the room. And also, we have got I can't get the game here, so I'm watching Fantastic Mr. Fox in the background instead. Says Katie Dixon, and also RIP Kobe Bryant. And there says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, that's the thing. Recently, there have been a lot of sports athletes, kind of retired sports athletes who have been passing away as well, which is very sad news. Of course, I met Jordan Ulysses and Leota today and had a conversation with Leota. Says Xavier Brown, how is Jordan Ulysses' rib? Did you ask him? Xavier, if not, then that is all right. But if you did ask him, how's his rib going? Because he keeps on injuring it every time he plays, and he didn't play in the game last night. So I assume it's kind of giving him a little bit more of a problem than he would have liked. And Tuivasa said, lol. And there I was, no worries. I'm going to say I start last night as well, says Brandon. Also, RP Shane Warne, says Xavier Brown. Yeah, it's going to be a tough day at the cricket for Australia up against Pakistan. That will be starting at 6 p.m. New Zealand time, but we have got Super Rugby right through. What's we got Leota like? It looks like a classic Aussie bred Eshe. And then there says Johnny Blaze. Currently, it looks like there's quite a few people in attendance for this game, maybe about 1,000 or so. So that is good that we've got some former crowd at this game. And Kobe Ryan, Shawana, Inga the Winger, and Australian Shane Warne. And also, we'll add for that list for Shane, or for the Australians, they have also lost Rod Marsh recently, actually only a couple of days away. And Jordan Ulysses seemed fine. Didn't ask him, though. Says Xavier Brown. That's the thing. He won't show any pain. Like, he's out on the field, giving it 110%, even though you can see that he's really wincing. He just keeps on going, which I think might be why he's probably going to have a few weeks off now, because he's probably fired up that injury. And don't forget, Jolie Vaderia, exactly right. Another player. That's the thing. Last week, or even last year, it's been a lot. Unfortunately, Dalton Pavali in the background, he is going to be a big key for the loose forward trio of the Blues. Like, that's the thing. They've got Dalton Pavali, they've got Hoskins Atutu, and they have also got Tom Robinson. Those three are going to be absolutely sensational for the Blues in this matchup. Although for the Chiefs, they have got Sam Cane, they've got Peter Gus-Sowakula, and they have also got in the number 6 jersey, it is going to be Tuivasa. So a little bit of a change there. That is why I wasn't too familiar with it. And also Great Southern Stand of the MCG will be renamed as the SK Warm Stand. And there says, yes, boy. And also FBI open up, says Brandon there in 28-14. And I got the Blues winning by 14, says Caleb. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to get your predictions in. Who do you think will be able to win this game? It looks like at the moment they are predicting it on the commentary. Sir John Kerwin, what does he go with? I'm sure he'll go with the Blues by probably 13 plus expected there. And also, when's Akira Ioane back? I believe it's within the next... He should be playing before the end of the season, but it might still be a little bit of time, unfortunately, till we do get to see Akira Ioane, just depending on how he is going. Because I thought originally he was similar to Dane Coles and whatnot, how they were just kind of giving them a little bit of time after the All Blacks, but I think he has got some sort of injury that is playing on his mind a little bit. And do you see more Brandon live streams? I said, Brandon, I did not. I did end up what did I do? I went to bed after the live stream yesterday after doing a little bit of editing, then woke up, and then we started cleaning up the studio. Where's your Chiefs shirt? I thought you were wearing. Oh, that's what I forgot. My Chiefs shirt. It's in my room hanging up. I put it on a hook so that I would remember it, and that's worked very well for myself. Unfortunately, I have completely forgotten it. And also, we have got Jordan Ulysses' ears. We're so ugly. That's why you wear a helmet so your ears don't get so ugly as well. Says Xavier Brown. And also, Chiefs win 35-21. Yeah, that'll be the cauliflower ears really kicking in. Unfortunately, not a fun time. Definitely when they have to get them, like, kind of, I guess the best term for it's probably emptied, which, I mean, you can imagine what that's like. You currently are showing the Chiefs the highlight of Amoni Narawa, who actually did very nicely for himself in the first week of Super Rugby, although, is he in the starting lineup for the Chiefs this week? I don't remember reading out his name, but we'll go through the starting lineups for both of these sides again. First of all, we'll go with the Blues, and that's going to be Hodgman, Eklund, and Nepo Lalala as the front row. Then Luke Romano and Josh Gutchu as the 4-5. Tom Robertson, Dalton Pavali, and Hoskins Atutu. They are the rest of the 4-back. Finley Christie and Harry Plummer will be the 19 combo with Roger Tuivasa-sheck and Rieko Ioane. Good combo of power and pace between those two. Caleb Clark, Mark Tilley, I guess you could say the same thing about those two individuals. And then Stephen Perofeta at fullback for this game. Then looking through at the Chiefs starting lineup, it will be Aiden Ross, Samasoni Takiaho, and it's Ione Mafaleo as the front row. Josh Lord and Brody Retallick is 4-5 with Tuivasa-sheck, also Sam Cane and Peter Gus Sowakula. So 2 good battles we will see taking place in the loose forward trios in this matchup. Brad Weber and Josh Ioane as the 9-10. Quinton Pai and Alex Nankerville as centres. And then Ateno Nana Satora, the quick step-in man who was able to beat many defenders last year in Super Rugby. Sean Stevenson at 14. And then Chase Tiatia will be slotting in there at number 15. We have also got 31 to 25 as well. And also we have got there is a Blues, or Sir John Curran is Blues biased. Much worse than Justin Crusaders are the Kings of Rugby Marshall. And they're all 35 to 33, says XXX Darko. And also, you're proud of me for not going. I would still like to talk to Donna, says Aiden. Pretty much when I did bring it up to her, she was just like, don't do it. That was all she said. She was just, don't do it. You've done well. And also, when it's a Super W game, I think it's actually kicking off very soon, isn't it? Because I know that we had a Super Rugby Upper Key warm-up game between, it was, I've forgotten the names already, but it was the Chiefs, or the equivalent of the Chiefs, taking on the kind of mixture team from the South Island. And in the end, the Chiefs were able to get themselves a win. And also, we have got their Chiefs. There we go. And there it says Stanley. But currently now, they are showing the Blues starting lineup. These are the reserves that both sides have got. Bowden Barrett coming off the bench for the Blues. Anton Leonard Brown going to be there at number 23. And Chiefs and Matutu, that is the name that I was trying to think of. I knew that it was something twice at the end, and I couldn't work out whether it was Tata or Tutu. But Tutu as the name. But yeah, in the end, about 20 points to 28, I believe that game was. Oh yeah, did George play? He did not. On that one, he was more interested in the studio than the kind of giving out advice. But we're currently working our way towards the studio. Even though it was very hot today, we did empty out some of the stuff in there. So we're going to be setting up hopefully sometime next week. Fingers crossed, but we will have to wait and see. But now the Chiefs are about to make their way out onto the field for Super Rugby. And it is going to be pretty awesome to see how this goes. They did have a bye last week because they were going to be playing Moana Pacifica, who were having one of their games postponed. But Brad Weber, his 100th match of Super Rugby, definitely going to be a tight game. Exactly right. Tata or Tutu there as well, says Johnny Blaze. But he is going to be at the age of 31 here for Brad Weber, and he's had a very experienced career. Looks like he's had a haircut for the special occasion. Samasai Takiao congratulating him, and he is about to be ready to go into this matchup. What we're going to do is we're going to move this to the central position on the screen. There we go. Like that, and we will be keeping an eye on all of it. The best thing about these New Zealand games is I don't even have to even have a glance at the lineups in terms of who's out on the field. Like, I can recognize all the players. It's more of the guys who are coming off the bench that occasionally I do end up slipping up on the names. But overall, like the starting lineup, each of these players, I guess they're very distinctive in the way that they look. So you know who it is. But I think they've just arrived. Oh, no, they haven't just arrived on the bus, the Blues. They were just running from where the Blues bus was. But Dalton Papali'i going to lead out his side. I believe that is 50 get for himself. Or is he the skipper? He might be the skipper, in fact. And now number 7 here, matches 45. So, yeah, he is going to be captain for this game. Dalton Papali'i, big opportunity. And also, the Kiwi lad Shed. And now McDonald's needs to work on his timing when bringing on the bench. Hopefully learn from the Canes game, says Josh. And having Bowden Barrett, huge experience factor coming off that bench, will certainly be able to help that out. And first try to either Eklund or Sammy Stoney, which I assume is Sammy Sony Takiaho, isn't it? So you're going, it's going to be a rolling maul, or is it just going to be Aoka who does end up getting the try? Do let me know. But a rolling maul here between these two sides is pretty likely. I think the last time I remember these two sides playing was right at the end of Super Rugby Aotearoa, and I think the Chiefs have rested all of their players, if I do remember rightly. So they did end up losing that game by quite a bit. And big shift from Dalton, always a big shift from that man, Dalton Papali'i. You never see him pretty much standing still unless he's waiting for something to happen, such as a line out or a scrum or anything along those lines. But other than that, that man's always moving, and he has a physical presence to have in that loose forward trio. But this game about to be kicked off. Eden Park, first home game for the Blues of the season, and it's going to be kicked off high, straight down to Harry Plum, who almost gets charged down, in fact, but somehow being able to get that kick away very nicely. We will move this so that the scoreboard starts updating itself. It hasn't quite yet, but it will kick in very soon. Box kick down straight into the hands of Stephen Petafetta. Now Rieko Ioane, ball on the outside of Caleb Clark. And one thing that I think we will remember from last week is the fact that Rieko Ioane, also Mark Talia, possibly didn't pick the best opportunities to pass the ball. They did have a couple of times that they got a little bit greedy, and I know that this game should be a little bit different. It looks like Sam Cane's stuck on top of the ruck at the moment. Harry Plummer trying to pierce his way through, but dragged down by Tuivasa-sheck, the newly acquainted loose forward for the Chiefs. Normally plays lock. Tuivasa-sheck with a good step. Dragged down by Tuivasa-sheck. Advantage now for the Blues. 40 seconds into this game. Luke Romano when a big carry driven backwards by Mafaleo. Now Christie once again goes back across to Harry Plummer using their backline very nicely. Stephen Perofeta sells the big dummy. Doesn't quite find the offload, but still playing under advantage. Finley Christie back to Clark running hard at the line, but Sean Stevenson and also was Alex Nankabel who have been able to hold him up, and we're going back for the original penalty. And Rebels W are taking on the Fiji and Drua W in round 1 of Super W. And in there as well, says Aiden. That's a lot of W's, isn't it? Someone's going to get themselves the W, unless, of course, the game is a draw. Then you both get a D, but then that sounds like something else, so we'll leave that there. But currently, it's going to be straight out in front here for the penalty. Do they want to go for the 3 points, or do they want the 7 early on here, the Blues? Only a minute and a half, and I think they will take the 3. They are taking the 3. Dalton Pavali, first job in charge, as the captain says, yep, we'll take 3 points here. We'll give ourselves a nice early start in this match, but it was originally a rush defence. It was Quintapaya was offside there. Currently about 32 out on the angle for Harry Plummer. Going to be lining up this kick. Best thing is I've tried to predict it. It's 36 meters. Almost got it. I'll get those eventually. Like, I'm trying to work out exactly how far everything is. So every time that there's a ball that is from a distance for the kicking tee, I'll try and predict what it is, and then I'll just tell you guys what it did end up being. But 36 meters out now. Harry Plummer trying to line this one up to give the Blues a nice early lead. It is warm at the moment, that is for sure. Go Chiefs. And there's Stanley Murphy. Goes silent at Eden Park, which means that the 20 people watching have stopped talking. It's extremely quiet. Jeez. It's a weird feeling at Eden Park not having any sound. That one, he's at the post. It's still bounced over though. So that is going to make the score 3-0 now in favour of the Blues. Bowden Barrett on the sideline having a drink of water. Smart man. Hydration is important, definitely when you are about to be running around for a second half. But that is going to make it 3-0 now in favour of the Blues. After only the 3 minutes, an early mistake from the Chiefs being offside, and the Blues make the most of it now, giving themselves that little bit of a points buffer, but they will certainly need more than 3 to be able to take down the Chiefs in this game, because the Chiefs, they will fire back and they take their own kickoff. It was Quintapaya who grabs it, and now the Chiefs on the 22 going to have a counter-attacking opportunity. Tuivasa-sheck to be able to do well there. Someone's lost their boot. I believe it might have been Robertson. He won't care. They'll probably run around in bare feet out on the field if they let him. Stephen Perofeta kicks it in behind now, and it's going to be sitting up nicely for the Chiefs. Brad Weber takes it. Gives it off to Quintapaya on the halfway line, dragged down by its All Blacks teammate Hoskins-Satutu. Looking to the short side now for Weber. Bit of draw and pass. Josh Lord getting wrestled down by Caleb Clark, who wasn't quite able to drive him into touch. 40 out. Brody Retallick, the big veteran, going to continue to try and really, that's a penalty to Auckland, though, not releasing the ball. And Auckland does end up winning the penalty. This one will not be a kickable one. Can you show the game? Says Tipitasi. Unfortunately, due to licensing, if I was to show any match footage or audio, YouTube would take us straight down and we will get banned for 3 months. So I do apologize that I cannot show it. But Super Rugby and also the All Blacks YouTube channel, they will be highlights, or they will have highlights on those 2 YouTube channels. So I highly recommend checking those out. And also, depending on what country you're in, some countries do have a subscription service for this game. But do let me know whereabouts you are, and I'll try my best to help you out. But that is going to be any... are you related to Jordan Ulisi, mate? And it says Johnny Blaze, and also let's go Chiefs, says Johnny Blaze. But Kurt Eklund straight on the ball. Clean out was a little bit late from Mafaleo, and the turnover did ensue. Currently now going to be about 38 metres out here for Kurt Eklund. That tape looks like it's extremely tight around the head of Josh Goodhue. Normally, players would put some sort of something underneath it, a bandage, and then you wrap the tape around. He's just like, I'll just tape my forehead for no reason other than to keep my ears intact, which, that's commitment. So he wants to be able to hear, I guess, which isn't a bad thing. But now Finley Christie going across to Caleb Clark at first receiver. Good low tackle on him by Samasoni Takiaho, tied up the bootlaces. Christie goes back across to Romano, tackled up by Peter Gasoakul and Sam Kane. Bringing that physicality, big red Tom Robinson, continuing to drive his way forward. It's interesting that he didn't get the captaincy, as he was the captain for a little bit of last year. Hoskins-Satutu driven backwards, hangs onto it. rather than trying to find the offload pass out wide to Mark Delia. Dino Nanasatoro caught off his wing, but great low tackle to be able to drag him down. Now Christie goes to Satutu, runs straight into a wall of defence. It's good phase play for the Blues, so they're up to 8. And they continue to drive their way forward until Luke Romano dropped the ball. Now Brad Weber kicks it in behind, and this is going to be a foot race here, I believe. Mark Talia will be the first man to it. All the bounce is not favourable, and it sits back up for the veteran Brad Weber down the wing in his 100th game, and he is going to score the try. What an individual try that is for Brad Weber for his 100th game. He kicked the ball. The ball was sticking to him like a magnet, and he did end up scoring it down the wing. That will make him feel very happy about this game. But Brad Weber, brilliant one for that man, never gave up on the chase. And now the Blues, they have conceded the first try. And yes, says Stanley and 0-0 on his 100th, exactly right. But it was stripped away by Brodie Retallick from Luke Romano. From there, Brad Weber, he saw the space of mine, kicked it there. And Mark Talia, he was actually covering way down this bottom side, which did cause a massive gap behind. The ball just did not sit up nicely for Hoskins Satutu. And then back in the gas down the wing, Brad Weber scores the try. And Brad, your beauty fellow, 4-foot tall men unite. And then Hamish, thank you for the sweet. No worries at all. Question for you, Hamish. What happens with the old South Africa Super Rugby? Pretty much their teams are in the URC now, is the best way of looking at it. And I don't think they'll be returning anytime soon, if ever, unfortunately. But the Chiefs try scorers there. Brad Weber scores the first try of the match. A pretty good one as well. I feel like that's going to be hard to beat for try of the match. And we're only 6 minutes in. But that is what we can expect from Super Rugby Pacific. Always fast-paced rugby. And now Josh Ioane lining up this one from the sideline. Oh, it's hit the post as well. Has everyone decided that they want to try and hit the post here at the moment? But Harry Plummer, he had a little bit more luck. Josh Ioane's wasn't quite able to go over, and now the score's going to be 5-3. And the Waratahs women are playing the Brumbies women, and the Rebels women are playing the Fiji and Rua W team. Sounds exciting. And there says Aiden. Unfortunately, they don't actually show those games over here, sadly, because or else I would be very keen to watch them, see how they do end up going. But hopefully we will be able to do some form of Super Rugby Aupiki, because I do see that it is actually going to be on Thursday that those games are taking place, 3 p.m, and then also a little bit later. We will be covering both of those on the channel, hopefully. Can't guarantee too much, but I also can't guarantee that we won't do them. Bit of a mind game there. Currently now inside of their own 22 here for the Chiefs. Brad Weber slings it across to Samasoni Takiaho, wrestled down by his opposite number, Kurt Eklund, who also loves bringing a bit of physicality to the front row. Kick downfield now, I believe that would have been Josh Ioane, taken nicely by Plummer, firing it back across to Peter Feta, who now sees an acre of space, goes straight through it as well. Peter Feta, drawing pass out to Caleb Clark, does try and fend off Sean Stevenson, wrestled round a couple times. We're getting dizzy, kept on getting spun like that. And Christie going back across to Luke Romano, tackled by Sam Kane. Those two seem like they're going to be having quite a battle out there on the field. Josh Goodhue, he is now going to be dragged down. We've got 1 minute left till we get to 10 minutes. Could we have 2 tries in the first 10 minutes of this game? Alex Hodgman now getting his first carry forward, and it's a solid carry from that man, Finley Christie, going back across now to Luke Romano. Continues to just drive straight at Sione Mafalo. Doesn't shy away from some contact. Harry Plummer, short ball nicely to Rieko Ioane, getting the legs pumping. Still going to be available, Finley Christie. Offloads it back to Big Tom Robinson. They're trying to hold him up, and they might be able to do it. I think it was Alex Nankerville who almost kept that ball up in the air. But now the Blues once again using the big forwards. Nepololala. Another carry forward. Passing it back across to Kurt Eklund now. And they are continuing to just go phase after phase up to the 10 already. Luke Romano now tackled. Just 5 meters out, firing it back. This looks like the back line that they're setting up for. Going to be shunted off Rieko Ioane off the Peter Feta, who's also wrestled down the ball spot free, and the Chiefs now have been able to get it back. And it's currently 5:42 in South African morning Irish. Says Andre, that is very early indeed, that is for sure. And that is going to be the penalty there now for the Blues. We have got any good lookers in the Brumbies and Waratahs women's team. I can't imagine there's any. Oh, and also, come on, Jesus, I see Stanley Murphy there. And also we have got there, G, do you think Shane Warner's watching the ball bounce today? And there, says Tainui, yeah, passing away very recently, unfortunately, for Australian cricket. But the way that ball moved away from Hoskins Satutu, it just didn't like him. Like, it should have set up perfectly for him. If it didn't set up for him, it should have set up for Mark Talia. But it's as if Brad Weber just knew exactly how it was going to bounce, kind of ran it the way that he thought was going to be best, and it worked out perfectly for them. The Blues as well. CCX there. Now that one's going to be firing back. Sam Kane got this one off the line out. A little bit loose from the Chiefs, but now they have still got this ball in hand, and it will be Brad Weber looking like he will be putting up the box kick. It's gone almost backwards. Almost out on the full. I think it's staying in the field of play, but it will be a knock-on from Sean Stevenson there. Golly, Brad, we were just not quite getting the angle on that kick right. Probably went about 2 meters forward and also about 20 to 25 crossways. Is there any wind at the ground? Because it looked like the way he struck it, maybe the wind was like kind of taking it away, but it just wasn't. Are you kidding me? The Blues are playing badly. And there says Aiden there. And currently, I mean, it's still early on, though, and they have got a couple very good changes to have off the bench in the later stages. We also haven't seen the most of that forward pack and the likes of Dalton Papali'i, Tom Robertson, Hoskins, and Tutu. Those three, as soon as they get a little bit more time, which could be now because they are about to have their scrum feed from about 25 out. But Caleb Clark, is it bad to say that he looks like one of the Matutu players from earlier on today? I think you guys will know who I'm talking about. She plays for, is it Waikato? I think they've got similar haircuts for themselves, but that is going to be the penalty to the Blues now. And also, as Roger Tuivasa-sheck playing, he is indeed. It's going to be there in the midfield at number 12 for this match with Rico Ioane on his outside. But Sione Mafaleo struggling a little bit up against Alex Hodgman and does end up giving away the penalty and put 200 on them. So here's Aiden, but 3 penalties against the Chiefs so far here. And now they're showing that's Aiden Ross, but man, he's starting to look like Nathan Harris. Like, the more that I look at him, the more I think, is that Nathan Harris playing or is that still Aiden Ross? Like, he's slowly evolving into him. Unless Aiden Ross, maybe he looks, or Nathan Harris looks like Aiden Ross, it might be a little bit of a situation there. They do look extremely similar, but Aiden Ross was the man that ended up going down. But currently 12:43 through this matchup, and it will be another lined-up opportunity for Harry Plummer. Now, we've already seen 2 balls hit the post. And they were actually both the left post. So surely Plummer, he tries to aim a little bit further. That I think he's going to miss out to the right. That's my prediction for this one because he'll be thinking, I don't want to hit the post again. Josh Ioane hit the post again. So he will be trying to avoid that. And Rico play last game, he did. He was in that midfield alongside Roger Tuivasa-sheck for that one as well. So that is the combo that the Blues are trying to build by the looks of it. Currently off a Taonga Fussy, stroking Marcel Renner's mustache on the sideline, perhaps trying to give Harry Plummer a little bit of luck here. Misses it away to the right. I mean, I should have had some sort of money on that. I would have actually made something. And also we have got the how's the Aussie woman doing. And I think it says, I don't know, we'll have a quick look. And also, can I get a shout out? It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Randall. Hope you are doing well, mate. And hope you are enjoying your birthday. You got 3 games of rugby. So if you are a rugby lover, you have certainly got a birthday treat. Getting to see 2 New Zealand derbies and then also the Brumbies taking on the Waratahs a little bit later on. But the position currently sitting there, 65%. And also you called it in there. Says Tainui. I just felt like 2 in a row that hit the post is such a rare occurrence that it had to be at least on that side of the post. Or not on the side of the post, but that side of the uprights. And also seemed to be the day for it. Says Falcon there, exactly right on the halfway line now. Josh Goodhue going to be there. Wahoo. It's a big sponsor that they've got on the field. What is Wahoo? I don't think I've heard of Wahoo before, but it's got a massive logo there going up in the air. Caleb Clark gliding beautifully through the air and was able to take it. And now they are going to definitely be on the front foot here for the Blues. Stepping on the inside, Harry Plummer not quite able to link up, but he's got Robinson and Papali'i to help protect it. And also Tainui said nice on there and come on the Chiefs, says Donna. You know, the Jap are currently still driving their way for Finley Christie around the side. I think there was a player who got lured into that breakdown who might not have wanted to be there, but it does play on just for now. Finley Christie going back across Peter Feta, Caleb Clark, bit of a juggle, but it looks like already from what we've seen from him, he's going to have a pretty good game. And this match, Roger Tuivasa-sheck first run forward, drawing past there through the hands of Mark Talia, though. And that is going to be now the line out. And also was Jamie Roberts debut. Jamie Roberts debuted for the Waratahs. Yeah, he has played in both games, but they only seem to give him like 3 minutes at the end at this point in time. And 43-16 for the Brumbies over the Waratahs. CSX and Blues had a good game against the Canes last week. I think they will do better today. And there says Andre and also Rico, Caleb, and Roger Tuivasa-sheck, Dan, CSX. And then also you could add to that list probably Mark Talia. Then you look at their forwards and you see Dalton Papali'i, Tom Robinson, and Hoskins Satutu. It's a pretty strong side for the Blues. And also, this game is making me nervous, says Nov Mum there. And also, by the way, the favourites are the Fijian draw W and the Waratahs in there, says Aiden. So we'll have a quick look to see if it has actually started. Not quite. An hour and 39 until that first match between the Rebels and the Fijian draw, or the Fijiana draw, I should say. And Wino Barrett, he is off the bench for this game. So I think they're trying to ease him back into it, but also have a little bit more stability at the end of the game. As that is somewhere where the Blues did struggle a little bit. I think that's going to be called as a free kick for the... Only Christie was keen to run his way forward. I think that was because of them closing the gap, so that's a little bit of a mistake there for the Chiefs. And Chiefs for the win, trust me. And there says Stanley Murphy. They are going to be going for the scrum now. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got 2 more live streams coming later on tonight. Next game, Highlanders versus Hurricanes. And anytime those two sides play, it is always a fast-paced, hard-hitting affair with a whole heap of running meters. I think they have the record almost for the most running meters in Super Rugby Aotearoa 2020 or 2021. And also Harry Plummer is the worst 10 in New Zealand, says Xavier. So I assume in that case you'd have Barrett starting. Who would you have as your second option now that Oteri Black has gone to Japan? Would you go with, who else they got at fly half as options other than Harry Plummer and Bowden? Do let me know. And also as Roger Tuivasa-sheck looking good in Union. He's been having his moments so far. Seems to be just kind of learning that new format. That's actually going to be a penalty to the Chiefs there for being able to get on the ball and not releasing. He's still doing the EPL later. I did see that we've got the game that is taking place at 4 a.m. and that is actually going to be Saracens versus Leicester. It's pretty much a top of the table clash in the Premiership, so I feel I should probably end up doing that game just because it is rugby related. Well, that one. So if my voice is still around, that will probably be the game we do. And then if we're still wide awake, we might consider the game afterwards. But if not, we'll probably end up doing the Premier League the night after. And yeah, Harry Plummer is shocking as a Chiefs fan. It brings me great delight. McDonald has named him starting 10 over Bowden Barrett and Perifetta with Win Barrett. As I says, Xavier, yeah, I guess you could go Perifetta at 10, couldn't you? Oh, that one. That's a brilliant run now down the wing for Peter Gasawakula after Samasoni Takiao trying to bump off a few men, but Finley Christie in the end is the one player who was able to slow him down. Josh Ioane, flat ball. Quinn Tupai, a little bit of a juggle. It's done nicely when Barrett starts Perifetta the backup. And there, so I assume you go Zahn Sullivan at fullback then for that one. But now around the side, it's going to be Sean Stevenson wrestled down only about 15 metres out from the line now for the Chiefs. Tupavai goes back to Ioane Tupai. Now the rush defence is going to be Perifetta about 2-on-1. And Tino Nana Satoro, great pace forward. And he scores a try. And Tino Nana Satoro, that man has got acceleration that cannot be matched. And he has been able to score himself a try. And also, just says, won't be happy, says Dom Mum there. And also, bro, missing your Blues jersey, my man, says Anaru. I am. I don't actually own one, but maybe one day I'll end up getting myself one. Nanai Satoro has been able to score it. So we will quickly go like this. We'll go like this. But he just broke through tackles that he really didn't look like he was going to be able to. But Nanai Satoro. Oh, I'm going to have to make sure I spell this correctly, aren't I? If I get it wrong, Seturo, I believe it is. There we go. And that was a try in the 18th minute of this game. And Atenai Nana Satoro, I mentioned how many defenders he beat last year. He just beat about 3 more there and was able to get himself the try. But going straight through the gap between Robertson and Mark Talia, but they had the 3-on-2 outside, so he had to be lured in a little bit, Mark Talia, to those outside defenders, which is Atenai Nana Satoro. He saw that, made the most of it. The Blues are playing horribly. What's wrong with them? And there says Aiden also, we get the Highlanders versus Kane. I think the Hurricanes are going to take it. And also, yep, Sullivan at 15, says Xavier. And also, Black was always one-upped by Barrett at the Canes. Then he goes to the Blues only for Bodie to end up one-upping him there as well, says X. I mean, now he's gone with the, I guess, reverse trend. Bowden Barrett was in Japan. Then he was like, you know what? Teddy Black, he's just decided he's going to go over there. And instead of being the undershadow or the understudy for Bowden, he's like, you know what? I'm going to try and make my legacy over here and get a nice payday while doing it. Ateno Nana Satoro dragged down on the 22. Mark Talia, I think he's just hurt his shoulder or the elbow or something. He's holding the left forearm. So I don't know what's happened there, but AJ Lamb might not be too far away. And hello, Amish bro. Hello, Amish bro. It's off the Chelsea. Welcome in, bro. And also typical Blues have so much talent. And maybe it's the attitude, says Josh, and Blues will bounce back and Chiefs for life. And then Highlanders all the way. Okay, another try. Or 6, please, Chiefs. And go Chiefs go, says Stanley. But it looks like the elbow might have taken quite a serious knock there for Mark Talia. He looks like He doesn't really want to go off the field, though. Yeah, he's just walking back. That one hasn't found touch, so that is why he's walking back. He has to continue. That was not a good tackle attempt from Chase Tiatia. Went too high on Peter Feta. Did end up breaking straight through his tackle. Finley Christie going short. Like, don't go out there. Mark Delia doesn't want to play. At the moment, he's got a sore arm. That one's gone into touch, and now he can get some medical attention on that arm. I don't think Finley Christie saw him holding the forearm or the elbow, so he's just like, you know what? You can chase a grubber here. It was great work down the wing. Kurt Eklund, Mark Delia, and also Finley Christie. They were all needed to try and slow down Samasoni Takiaho, who is just a bulldozer when he gets going. He's just thrown in that one to Tuivasa Weber. Firing across. That's a very awkward bouncing ball. Now Quintupai inside of his own in goal. Why wouldn't he kick that? He's just taking it down, and that's going to be a 5-meter scrum. Interesting. Okay, Quintupai maybe doesn't have a foot. No, he does have 2 feet. So I'm not sure why he didn't decide to kick that one when they're inside of their own in goal area. And he had time. Quintupai, I think he backed himself a little bit too much. He was like, you know what, I can get out of this. And he just got taken down. And also Blues will do it in the end, says Anaru. What happens here? So it's a loose ball. Quintupai, plenty of time. Ends up slipping over because he wanted to look to that side. That's when you just kick that ball as hard as you can towards the touchline on that side of the field. And also Chismana Tai Aha strike. Adaiha, as there says Jody Blaze. And also bro Shane Warne does at age 52 is really shocked for all the cricketing world. And there says Michelle, it is indeed. It was so sudden as well. I believe it was a heart attack while he was on holiday in Thailand. And I agree Blues will do it. And there says Andre. Now, currently, the Blues, they have got themselves in a very good position on the field. Just a little bit too much pressure on that pass across from Brad Weber, which then bounced over the head of Peter Gus Sawakula. Looks like Tom Robertson doing a little bit of DIY, strapping up his own leg. Is that lump bandages or is that lump his leg underneath there? I hope it's just bandages that he's put a little bit of extra support on. Because else then that's an ugly looking lump on the it would be on the quad, so that wouldn't feel too comfortable, I wouldn't think. And also, hi, says Liam Gaines, welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. Anyone who is new, sure leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more live streams coming later on tonight, including the match that has taken place between the Highlanders and the Hurricanes, followed by the Brumbies. They will be taking on the Waratahs. And when did you go to bed last night, aka this morning? Says Liam, I think I got to sleep at about maybe 6, somewhere around there. It was quite late. Well, actually, probably around 5. That's a great wide pass. Caleb Clark, he's just got to run this one in. And he does just that and scores the try, Caleb Clark. Sam Kane making the big hit on him, but it wasn't enough. And the Blues now strike back, get themselves their first try off this matchup. The Blues try scorers. There we go. We will go like that. And we will add Caleb Clark to that list. And that is going to be in the 22nd minute now that they have been able to score their first try. But it was a wide cutout pass. The Chiefs, they couldn't really do too much about that one. They just didn't have the numbers on the outside that they would have required to be able to mark up with Clark. They did quite well to cover, but then from there, stepping on the inside, everyone thought Caleb Clark was going for the corner, except Caleb Clark, who knew he was going to be coming back on the inside if he did need to. But Clark scores the try for the Blues. And we will go like that, and we will go like that as well. But Sam Kane, he took a big knock there and making that tackle, or attempting that tackle, I should say. There we go. And also, Blues finally scored him well. Caleb as well, says MH Joy. And also, we have got Chiefs as well, says Tino. And also, nice one, Blues, says Andre. And also, how you doing? The Six Nations games, brother. There are none this week, but next week we will be doing the Six Nations when they do come back. But that is going to be, there's going to be some good games. I think Italy, Scotland's the first, followed by France versus Wales, and then England taking on Ireland, I think. Those are the games that we have got coming up, which are pretty big. That one's gone over from Mary Plummer. And now the score is going to be 10 points to the Blues and 12 to the Chiefs. Doing well, Caleb as well, says MH Joy. And also the Blues. And Blues to score a try now, please. They did indeed. Finley Christie did end up finding the ball out to Peter Feta. And he was just patient with the bounce, Caleb Clark. He easily could have tried to overcommit and wait for that. But Sam Kane, he got a good tackle on him. It wasn't quite able to stop him. 24 minutes into this game, and the score now 10 points to 12. We knew it was going to be a close one between these two sides, and Caleb Clark now has been able to score his first try of the match. Finley Christie now going to be rolling this one back across to Josh Goodhue as he end up taking the carry and continuing try and drive themselves forward here. The Blues, although they are going to be going with the kick, but it looks like Anna Sidia in there as well. And also Blues finally scored series 8, and that one's gone extremely high from Finley Christie, taken nicely by Mark Delia, but it's going back for the penalty, and I believe that's for being in front of the kicker Brad Weber, he looked like he was considering taking that one quickly, but from here, I would think the Chiefs would take the 3. But then I don't really know what they're going to be thinking. Do they decide that they want to go for the corner and try and pour on that extra pressure on the Blues? Are 3-pointers enough to beat the Blues? They are taking the 3 in this instance. And it was Hoskins Atutu just a little bit ahead. And the worst thing is, he wasn't even involved in that one. So it was Hoskins Atutu who was just a little bit too far in front, which is why he does end up getting himself penalised. And the penalty does go the way of the Chiefs. Okay, probably just a split second is the call from Ben O'Keefe, saying that they're just a tad too far ahead. But Josh Ioane now going to be lining up this kick from about 38 out, I will say. We'll go with. And I'll say, yeah, Chiefs. And there says Stanley Murphy. And this will give them a 5-point lead here. If he is able to get this one, Josh Ioane. But it's important that he does keep the points ticking over. If they miss any of their kicks, because he did miss one a little bit earlier on, Josh Ioane, if he does get this one over, I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with the way that this match is going so far for the Chiefs. They are showing that they can certainly bring the fight. Josh Ioane strikes it. Josh Ioane misses it. And that has gone away to the left-hand side. So not looking confident in the way he kicked that one, Ioane. And it does now mean that it is going to be still only a 2-point lead for the Chiefs. So that's going to be just a tad closer than they would have been liking. So they've missed a total of 5 points so far, the Chiefs. That will be a number to look out for in the near future, perhaps. But Harry Plummer goes with a drop kick as far downfield as he can. Sits up for Ateno Nana Satora. Now Tia going to be running it back up to the halfway line. He slips and falls, and he might be hurt. While that one chase Tia. No, he wakes up. He's fine. Or is he? He's running. He's fine. He's just got up and he's gone, that was a bit of a head knock, but we're all good. Now, the Chiefs sit in 40 metres out. Peter Gastoa call it back to Ioane. Now, Sione Mafalao. Great work from Hoskins Atutu to keep him on his feet. Now the knee has gone down, though, so they do have to release him straight through the middle. That was a great clean out from Josh Lord. It was almost sniped by one of the Blues forwards. I believe it would have been maybe Goodhue tried to get straight in there and steal it. And also, what is the streaming schedule? Says Danny Lewis. We will talk about it probably at halftime. 13 minutes time, we will go through the games that we are going to be doing in the future, just because there is quite a list at the moment. Going back across now, Tuivasa-sheck wrestled down there, 42 metres out still for the Chiefs. They're up to 8 phases now into their play. Josh Ioane, wide cut out pass, brilliantly done. Sean Stevenson now with the step. Perafeta drags him down nicely. It's like a little bit of a wrestle going on between Sam Cane and also, I believe it was Harry Plummer. That's probably not the man you want to try and pick a fight with, Sam Cane. Josh Lord wrestled down by Luke Romano. And now, once again, it's going to be Brad Weber going to the left-hand side. Ioane selling the dummy twice, running straight into Dalton Papali'i, who drives him back a couple meters. 12 phases in now for the Chiefs, and they continue to just get wrestled down to the turf by the Blues. Good tackle there from Roger Tuivasa-sheck. One of the first times we mentioned his name throughout this match on defense, that is. Now, Dalton Papali'i not able to get the turnover. 14 phases in now for the Chiefs. Peter Gastoa. Good low tackle from Ioane. Also, Robinson finishing the job. Sean Stevenson drawing pass now out to Sam Cane on the wing. Peter Feta makes the tackle once again. This is just ruthless play at the moment by the Chiefs. Loose ball sets up for Brody Retallick now. Straightens, tries to go straight through Nepo-Laulala. He's currently sitting on the wrong side. He's looking quite tired. Nepo-Laulala there. Josh Lord looking for the offload. Does point it back to Brad Weber, who is shut down there by Auckland, who turns the ball over for his side. And that is a penalty after 17 phases. And I named my dog Chief after my team. Chiefs, let's go, boys. As I said, Johnny Blaze. And also, we have got there, Hamish. Can you believe the Sharks beat the Pumas without scoring a try at all? Just penalties, but I'm happy with this one. As I says, Andre, I did see that it was an interesting contest, wasn't it? Did the Pumas score any tries for themselves in the end? Because if they didn't also score tries, it's probably better that I didn't end up staying up till 6 to do that game. It looks like Brad Weber's looking a little bit shaky at the moment. Is he all right? I'm not too sure what happened to him there. He looked like he was a little bit rattled, though. Let's go, Chiefs. Sees JMS a little bit earlier on. And also, as this is the first one, it is the first stream of the day. First of many, perhaps, that we'll have coming up. And come on, Josh, says Stanley Murphy. Tuivasa with a good carry forward. Then from there, Auckland. It seems to be Papali'i and Auckland are the two to watch out for in that 4-pack for these two, because they are just everywhere out on the field. Pumas only scored 1 try, says Andre there. So, yeah, not a huge, I guess you could say, scoring game overall. Unfortunately, that's not very straight from Auckland. Didn't quite get that one right, and now it will be either the scrum feed or the line out for the Chiefs. More than likely, they will be taking on the scrum. I think they'll go scrum here. Currently now 30 minutes into this game. That's a very quick 30 minutes. I swear we only started about 2 minutes, or not 2 minutes, but probably like 15 to 20 minutes ago. We've actually been on for 50 minutes on this live stream. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Currently, they are talking to Craig McGrath, who is the Blues assistant coach. Now, we did see Leon McDonald almost ripping his hair out last week with the way that they did finish this match, the Blues, against the Hurricanes. They will not want a repeat of that today, or else that coach will probably end up as well and truly throwing stuff all around the coaching box, which is not what they would have been wanting. But currently, Dalton Bubbly is captain, trying to will on his four back, just trying to give the guys a bit of a team talk. He does seem like a bit of a leader, Papali'i, from what we have seen from him. He's always there, always trying to fire up his side. And currently, they do need a bit of firing up because they're currently sitting 2 points behind up against this Chiefs side, who have been able to score themselves 2 tries compared to the 1 try we have seen from the Blues. But it was the most recent try, and that was a try of Caleb Clark. In fact, I think I'm lying. It wasn't the most recent try, was it? It was in the 22nd minute, and the Chiefs, they ended up scoring their one in the... No, it was actually the most recent. In the 18th minute or so, I think it was, for Tino Nanasatoro. Now scoring as back lately. We've got plenty of Super Rugby coming, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the Highlanders taking on the Hurricanes a little bit later on. And then the next game after that, we are going to get to see... It will be the matchup that has taken place between the Brumbies and also the other side. Waratahs. I don't know why I always forget the Waratahs. Tino Nanasatoro actually ends up slipping. He's lost the ball, though. Now Papali'i steals it, gives it straight back to Tia, but we're going back for the original knock-on. Dalton Papali'i saying, sorry, bro, to whoever that was. Liam McDonald not too happy with the way that he did that one for Papali'i. Clayton McMillan looking nervous, I guess is the best way of describing it. But it was Brad Weber, went to Josh Ioane, pop pass up to Tino Nanasatoro, who got back to his feet, but then had the ball stripped. I believe it just kind of fumbled out of his hands when Rieko Ioane made the tackle. Currently now the scrum feed will be going the way of the Blues. They will be about 35 metres out of Tino Nanasatoro. Not too happy with that one for himself, but currently the Blues, they're right in the middle of the field. Who have they got? They've got Stephen Perofeta directly behind the scrum, Roger Tuivasa-sheck down this bottom side alongside Caleb Clark, and then on the top side they got Rieko Ioane and also Mark Talia with Harry Plummer also lurking up there. I would go Satutu off the back, but instead they're going to the short side, and now it's going to be nicely done. Harry Plummer, no, Rieko Ioane gets it. Now Sam Cane straight on the ball. That's a penalty, and he does end up winning the penalty very nicely, Sam Cane. He's still got it in the number 7 jersey, and this battle between him and Papali'i is kind of, I guess you'd say, the older player for the All Blacks versus a younger guy at number 7. They need Barrett on right now, needs some leadership in the backs, says Anaru there. So, yeah, I don't think Barrett will be too far away for that second half. I think maybe 50 minutes in or so, they might decide that it is time to unleash him. But Josh Ioane now going to be kicking this one for the touchline. It is a good kick downfield. But currently, they've been doing well, the Blues, with the set plays. It's just they need someone there to clean out. I think Josh Goodhue got there a bit too late for his liking, and because of it, it did mean that the Chiefs were able to get Sam Cane secured over the ball. Now he's breaking the line as well. Sam Cane sitting on the halfway line here. Brad Weber goes back across. Josh Ioane, wide cut out pass out to Tino Nanasatoro, tries to step straight over the top of Stephen Perofeta. Doesn't quite work out for him. Plummer's not playmaker, that's for sure. Says Josh there now. Samasoni Takiaho making his way around. Nepal. I don't know what's happening here. I think he's got some sort of injury, or he looks like he's completely just gassed out at this point of the match, because he looked like for that tackle attempt on Samasoni Takiaho, he kind of went, and it seemed like there's something, I don't know. I'll keep an eye on him for now. And also, who are you cheering for? This game on, dude. I mean, I live in the South Island. I love watching these two sides play. So I would say whoever wins this one, I'll still be very happy. And when you watch the rugby over here in Africa and Namibia, we get nothing, says Xavier. So we watch it on Sky Sport here in New Zealand, but is it on DSTV, Xavier? Although, of course, that is quite an expensive streaming software, isn't it? Other than that, though, I don't think there's too many options. Although, if you do want to see just the highlights of these games, the All Blacks YouTube channel and also Super Rugby will also have them if you do want to check those out. Tackles made so far, 49 missed tackles, 8 for the Chiefs, and then 64 tackles made by the Blues, 10 missed tackles, so pretty even currently as we sit. But Finley Christie Be feeding this ball in now. It rolled back to Hoskins. Tutu now going short side. Harry Plummer kicks it in behind, looking for the 50-22. It's out on the full, and they are going to be going right back. So if it was going to be in the second half, in the 50th minute, that Harry Plummer was getting taken off the field, I would say it's now gone down to probably more than likely around the 45th for Leon McDonald. I think he's just kind of trying to work out what is going on with that back line. Now Brad Weber goes back across to Ioane. Good step forward from Quintapuia with a good run forward. He's always a crash ball specialist at inside centre. Josh Ioane going back across to Brody Retallick. Tackle well low, and it's going to be stolen there by the Blues. Luke Romano now kicking out. It's gone straight into the hands of Peter Gus-Sowakula. You have to question the tactics there of the Blues, and now it's back in the hands of the Chiefs. Tuivasa-sheck Takiaho. Jackson back on the inside. Luckily for them, little knock on. And I will be going back for a scrum, but why is the lock trying to kick that ball in behind? There's a big question there. I know you're cheering for. Oh, no, I read that one a little bit earlier on. But Tuivasa-sheck Takiaho currently, he's having a good game so far. But I'm going to have to see the replay of this. Who was it on the outside of Luke Romano here that made him think, right, I'm going to kick it? The only man who would make perfect sense is Mark Talia. But was it? We're going to have to wait and see. But Peter Gus-Sowakula, he just snatched that one out of thin air. Said, yep, that'll do. I'll take that one back. But then it was a little bit loose. And the turnover did ensue. And now it will be the Blues who have got themselves a scrum feed. Currently only 5 minutes left of this first half between these two sides. Currently Sione Mafalo, I think he's got a smile. No, now it's gone to an angry face for when he goes down against Alex Hodgman. That's going to be a tough battle on this near side. We've already seen the men collapse once. It's going to be staying up. It's going to be rolled back nicely there. And Finley Christie has got this one. They've got the whole width of the field out to their left-hand side if they want to use it. But Roger Tuivasa-sheck gets his first proper carry. And this one runs it straight at the line. Finley Christie now looking to the short side. Passes it across to Luke Romano. It's got Nepalolala on his side. And the Blues, they look like they're going to be going for the box kick once again. Only 35 out from their line. Have decided that it will be the better option. Hoskins Tutu has just kicked that one. Or he didn't kick it, sorry, it was. In fact, setting up for him, but it's a little knock-on at DSTV. It's hopeless. DSTV is from South Africa, and they're only showing the second-rate United Rugby Championship, says Xavier. Geez, so do they not show any Super Rugby? One moment. I'll see what I can find for you in terms of where you can watch the game. I know that the website that I have for like stats and stuff normally says where you can watch it depending on the country. So your options, Super Sport Rugby. I assume that is South African, isn't it? So yeah, Super Sport Rugby might be your best option there. There's something called Wow Wow. I don't know if that's in South Africa though. But yeah, it's just Wow Wow. That's where it is. Hello, Mum. Hi. What are you up to?
Oh, just looking.
And also SansaRugby.tv is the other option, but depending on where you are in the world, they may not actually have this game available due to kind of broadcasters elsewhere, I guess you could say, in the country. And also, I can use a VPN to use any streaming service, says Josh, a little bit. And also, we have got their Women's World Cup commentary. Why you're not? Pretty much only reason for it is it's ODI rather than T20. And the big thing is T20s, like they're about 3.5 hours. Your voice doesn't completely disappear and you get a little bit of a break in between innings. Same with test matches. Yes, it's 6 hours, but you're getting those spells in between. Whereas ODI is pretty much 3.5 hours straight of commentary, followed by 3.5 hours straight of commentary again. So it's pretty much like doing 2 T20 matches in a row. But we will be doing, if the Black Ferns go through a little bit further, we will end up doing a little bit more Black Ferns, White Ferns. It's a cricket side. It's called the New Zealand women's side anyway. And our discipline giving away penalties kill them, as on there says MH. And that is, of course, for the Pumas up against the Sharks in the Curry Cup. Peter Gus-Sowakula up to the 22. That's a brilliant run. Roger Tuivasa-sheck has to wrestle him down. But now the Chiefs, they are getting a lot of go forward here. Tupavai only a little bit out from the line. Tuivasa-sheck Takiaho pass slightly behind him. Still takes it well. And the Chiefs currently sitting 10 metres out from the line. 2 minutes left to work in this half. Josh Ioane passes it out to Brody Retallick. And the midfield dragged down by Tom Robertson and try it from Hotspot. As I says, Tainui Sione Mafileo now goes back. It's a quick ball. Was it forward? Yes, it was. From Chase Tiatia, who is also having a little bit more of a 50-50. First half, McDonald brought Romano to the Blues to be Saboteur in the Chiefs. And there says Xavier, and also Blues teasing me again. Cheers, Aiden. And also we have got there, I think I read almost all of them. Done well. And also Yeah, it's going very quickly. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated you guys all being here for these live streams. No matter the hour of the day, you guys are always tuning in. And we have got 2 more Super Rugby live streams tonight that we will be covering on the channel. Hurricanes taking on the Highlanders at Sky Stadium. That is the 7:05 p.m. kickoff. So less than 2 hours time till that game does take place. But currently now 10 metres out from the line here for the Chiefs. They are going to be possibly, I mean, that's the thing. If they can get a good push, they might be able to steal this one. Super Sport Rugby is part of South Africa's DSTV. Used to watch on his goal, but they stream Super Sport, but not anymore. And also Chiefs all the way, says Stanley. Yeah, for that one. But Roger Tuivasa-sheck, 3 carries so far in this match. And relatively busy. Now putting that ball in for Finley Christie, going back for Hoskins. A Tudu breaking off the back there. Dragged down by Weber. Still inside of the 22 and only 15 seconds left. More than likely, the Blues will take 1 or 2 more phases, go into halftime with a 2-point deficit. It wouldn't be too bad for them in the end, I wouldn't think. The way that this first half has gone, they did score the 1 try compared to the Chiefs, were able to score themselves the 2. Now Finley Christie passes across to Luke Romano. Josh Lord trying to hold him up. He might be able to do so as well. That one hasn't gone to ground. That one is going to be held up. But of course, with it being halftime, that is now going to be going away for halftime there. What did you say?
I said, why would you bother with that when you just kick it out?
Yeah. Don't want to risk it, do you? Who do you think's going to win this one?
Chiefs.
Chiefs? Okay, fair enough. Head to here first. Currently 12 points to the Chiefs, 10 for the Blues now, and it is currently going to be 40 minutes left in this game. Roger Tuivasa-sheck and Quinta Pai both playing very similar games at first receiver of just playing the crash ball, seeing if you can set up the men on the outside. But what we will quickly do is we will type in Super Rugby and we will get ourselves our normal stats that we do have on the channel as well. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will show you guys how it is sitting for the one moment. We'll go like this. There we go. That is how it is sitting at the moment for the table. And do you have goals of being on Sky or TV commentary? I think you're awesome, bro. Says Anaru. I haven't really thought hugely about it overall, just because I think the thing that makes this so much fun is having you guys here. Like when I don't have you guys here, it just doesn't quite feel the same type thing. So, I mean, I would be interested in doing some sort of commentary maybe, but it would also, like, if they had a regulation that it was like you can't do your YouTube channel, I probably would heavily, it would be a tricky decision, that is for sure, and I probably would end up turning it down, to be honest, so that I can continue doing these on a YouTube as well. But currently the match stats, 2 tries for the Chiefs, 1 for the Blues, 210 meters carried for the Chiefs compared to the 157 of the Blues, so actually leading that by about 60 or so meters carried. Defenders beaten 12 for the Chiefs, 7 for the Blues there, and clean breaks 3-1. So currently, I would say it's all Chiefs currently in terms of those stats, but then we've seen a couple good moments for the Blues in there as well. It currently says 35 now. It says halftime, and also it's voted on yet. Not yet, but I don't think it'll be too far away for that second half, just because, I mean, we haven't exactly seen a huge amount from Harry Plummer in this game as of yet. I think he would admit that as well, so he will be hoping to improve for the next one. But we have got there, let's go Chiefs. As well says, greet the Sacred Cow. But also, I should mention the next games that these two sides have got coming up. So for the Blues, one moment, we'll find them. Is this the Blues? That's the Brumbies. Is this the Blues? That's the Western Force. Is that the Blues? That's the Blues. There we go. So the next game, that is actually the game that is playing at the moment. So they've got the Highlanders next week, a rematch of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final, followed by that big derby that they always have up against the Crusaders. Those matches are always absolutely phenomenal, and hopefully we will get to see it. And then we get a rematch of the Trans-Tasman final once again, with the Highlanders hosting the Blues at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Looking through at the Chiefs now. That's the Hurricanes. That's the Rebels. Who's this? That's Fiji and Droa. Okay, we don't actually have the Chiefs. Who they are playing next, unfortunately. That's the one that I seem to be missing out of all of them. And also hear about Warney, Saxman RIP. Says, greet the Sacred Cow. I did indeed. And it was kind of like just sudden news. Like it was very recent in terms of Rod Marsh only just passing away, and now Shane Warne getting added to the Australian cricket list just for this kind of last few days. So it is a rough one there for the Australian cricket, and also the family and friends of Shane Warne as well. I'm just quickly tapping this. There we go. We have got it back up. I thought that was going to disappear down the bottom, but it is stuck around for a bit longer. 1 offload apiece for this game. And then tackles made, they did make 62 in the end for the Chiefs, missing a total of 7. And then for the Blues, they actually made 61, missing a total of 12. So extremely even between these two sides. Can't really split them other than the 2 points that are on the board currently. 58% possession in favor of the Chiefs is something that they will be looking to extend. And that next one, it always comes in threes. Says that Josh there. But currently, Stephen Pettifetta, 24 running meters, 2 defenders beaten for him. And alongside him, Caleb Clark has had the most running meters out of any Blues player. 1 try, 58 meters carried, 7 carries, 2 defenders beaten, and 1 clean break for himself there also. Then looking through at the Chiefs, 40 meters carried for Eteno Nanasatori. Did score the second try of the match for the Chiefs. That was in the 18th minute. 40 meters carried, 5 carries, 4 defenders beaten, 1 clean break, and also was able to get himself the try. So the only things he needs now is an offload and a turnover or try assist, in fact, and he will have a clean sweep of all of the stats that they do have available for me. But Peter Sowakula having 44 meters, Brad Weber also having 44 meters carried, and then 2 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks. But Brad Weber scoring that very first try of the match. It was a sensational one. The ball just set up nicely for him, was able to make the most of it, and does end up getting himself the full points available for the young halfback. I say young, he's 31, but he's got 100 matches in Super Rugby, and he has got plenty more coming in the future, I would think. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, second half just around the corner. Who will be the first try scorer of the second half? Hey, let me know. But Samasone Takiao, another player, do need to mention there. 34 meters carried, 5 carries, 2 defenders beaten, 1 clean break for him. And he has been looking pretty good in the number 2 jersey for himself in that one as well. But currently now, I mean, Brody Retallick only having 3 carries and not making any meters seems like a stat that would be slightly incorrect, just because he always makes meters, Big Brody, when he does get himself going forward, unless, of course, he got driven back a couple meters. Maybe that is where that has gone. But the ball's sitting up for Caleb Clark, and it was a very good one in the end. Sam Cane not able to stop the big man Caleb Clark out on the wing from scoring himself his try, and the lone try that we have seen so far from the Blues in this matchup. But turnovers conceded pretty even. Penalties conceded also very even, I should say. 6 against. What was that? I just heard a knock on the window. I knew who that was. But currently now, Sam Cane, he is going to be sitting there as 5 carries, 12 meters made, 3 tackles, and 2 turnovers, 1 for himself also. So been looking very strong throughout the early stages. The key moment for him was when he got that turnover when Rico Ioane ran it straight at him, and also Chiefs score first, and there sees MH Joy. There we go. Do end up having a drink. We will be nicely hydrated. It is pretty hot today. We're sitting at 20 degrees Celsius, which isn't too bad if you're sitting in Australia, but in New Zealand, that's getting relatively up there. Eden Park, it looks like they're allowed about 100 or so in attendance. Currently, Caleb Clark going to be sitting there. But now clean breaks. 1 for Caleb Clark. Also scored the try, and he did make it very difficult for himself. Rather than going for the corner, he tried to step back on the inside, but broke through the tackle of Sam Cane. And currently, I will show you guys the benches of who these two sides have got, because these are going to be the big moments, and also these are going to be the big changes. One in particular, the man at number 22 for the Blues, Beauden Barrett, when he makes his way out onto the field, will certainly have to have an impact. Ricky Riccatelli going to be there at 16. Ofa Tuangafasi and Marcel Renata as the front row replacements, and then Sam Derry, Adrian Chope, Sam Knock, and AJ Lamb. They are the rest of the Blues replacements. Bradley Slater there at number 16, Ollie Norris and Angus Tarver. So those two in the front row, or for the props, 2 replacement props, they're going to be able to have their own scrum battle in the later stages. Ngātoa Akoi is there, and the question is, Ngātoa Akoi, do they end up taking off? I think they'll take off Josh Lord for Ngātoa Akoi, and they did want to leave Tuivasa-sheck out there for a bit longer. Kalen Boshier, he might end up going off for Tuivasa-sheck. Going on for Tuivasa-sheck. I'm not too sure what they're going to do with Tuivasa-sheck in the later stages. Xavier Rowe is a replacement for Brad Weber. Bring Gatlin at number 22, and the return of Anton Leonard-Brown as the other option that the Chiefs have got for the later stages. I wonder whether or not we get to see Anton Leonard-Brown out there at a similar time to Beauden Barrett, or whether the Chiefs wait a little bit longer, see how much they can get out of the current starters. Although I would say, I mean, if I was to bring on Anton Leonard-Brown, it would probably be for Alex Nankivell, who hasn't had a terrible game so far. Go the Chiefs. Up, everyone, as well. Says MB, welcome into Livestream at halftime. Says relaxing music, it is indeed. And Chiefs score first. Says MH Choice. So there is a chance that they might be able to get themselves a cheeky try in the early stages. They did it in the first half, and it was Brad Webb who was able to score it. The other Chiefs try scored by Atenai Nanasatoro, and then the one try for the Blues, that was Caleb Clark. I will quickly mention what the games are next week that we have got to expect for the next week of fixtures. It's Waratahs versus Western Force. That is the one that you can almost hardly see for the fact that that is going across the bottom, but that is going to be on Sunday at 4 p.m. New Zealand time is when that one will be taking place. Blues versus Highlanders as the Friday night fixture, followed by the Rebels taking on the Brumbies. Will also be a very entertaining fixture. Hurricanes versus Moana Pacifica. Crusaders versus Chiefs. There'll be a rematch of Super Rugby Aotearoa's final. So we've got the rematch of Super Rugby Aotearoa, the rematch of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. The only thing that we're missing is the rematch of Super Rugby AU, which would have been the Reds taking on the Brumbies. But I believe that is the week after, so we've got to wait a little bit longer till we get to see that, although we do get to see the Reds taking on the Fiji and Drua, the two sides who were able to get themselves the wins in their last games that they have had. The only other Australian game that has taken place tonight, that will be the Brumbies, and they will be taking on the Waratahs, and that is the one a little bit later on tonight. We're looking more at the New Zealand times rather than the amount of time that it is till the game takes place, because as you can see, that is not 1 day away. That is now. And we are currently sitting at halftime, but the next game will be 7:05 p.m. Hurricanes versus Highlanders. We will be starting at around 6:45, so we've got plenty of talking to do about that match, because there's plenty to look at in terms of the stats to do with that game, and then also Brumbies versus Waratahs. That will be there at 9:45. But anyone who doesn't know how the table sits, that is where we are sitting at the current time. Hey, Amish and chat, today's going to be awesome. Hope everyone as well. And there says Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, sorry, I should say. We've got plenty of rugby coming. I believe we've got a Curry Cup game coming, if my voice does last. And then also the Premiership. That's the Gallagher Premiership. We have seen that it's going to be Saracens versus Leicester Tigers. So if my voice is around, that is another game that we will be covering. But I will mention the other games that we have got coming up in the future. We've got Pakistan versus Australia. We will be covering that tomorrow from 6 p.m. onwards, and that will be the test match, then followed by some Premier League by the looks of it we will be doing, which is the English Premier League, as in the football side of things, and then also maybe another rugby game we might end up squeezing in there as for good measure. There's plenty on in the next kind of 24 to pretty much, I guess you could say, the next 7 days. We got plenty, and also we have got there, Hamish, do you have a Tesla? Says game on, dude. I don't even have a remote control Tesla. So I guess a bit unfortunate in a way, but if I did get offered a Tesla, I would probably accept it because, you know, brum brum goes all right. Or it's probably, actually, it wouldn't be brum brum, would it? It would be so it's kind of like the battery going rather than like the brum. As I'm also about to hit 10K, I'm sure some stuff. Says Tesla there. And yeah, we are getting very close at the moment. And it is all down to you guys. So thank you all very much for tuning in, week out. And we have got plenty more coming in the future. We have no plans of slowing down. In fact, we have got some big plans coming up in the near future. And that is going to be getting the Kiwi Lads studio set up, which is going out in a little room that we have got that is going to be available. And it'll go whoosh. As on there says Rises Cars. And also over there, what's your favorite car? I am a fan of a Lamborghini Aventador, but I would never get one. Like, even if I had the money, I feel like I would just drive like 10Ks because I wouldn't want to have it like completely like totaled. As and also we get a hi from Fiji. Welcome in, mate. And also go Blues, go smash the Chiefs. It's currently only a 2-point game at this point in time, but the whole second half ahead of us to play, so it should be very entertaining. See who does end up getting the better of the second half. But currently, I would say the Chiefs look more, I guess you could say, attacking. Probably, actually, I'll go the Chiefs look more defensively sound. The Blues look more attacking, kind of orientated throughout that one. And Guten Tag, and there as well, says game on, dude. Welcome in, mate, as well. Guten Tag, is that, what is it? Guten Tag, is that German? Is it German or is it Dutch? Might be Dutch, is it? No, not too sure which one out of the two. But currently, the Chiefs, David Hill, their assistant coach, he is saying that he's pretty happy with that, but they want to get a little bit more on the bottom. Go Chiefs, go Chiefs. Oh, go Chiefs, go smash the Chiefs. Like, go Chiefs, go smash the Chiefs. I assume that's like go the Chiefs, smashed the Blues. I assume in German as well. I know it was one of the two, but I couldn't quite work out which one it was. I remember doing German in about year 5 at primary school, and I think that was literally the only German that I kind of learnt. Like, I remember we did Māori at high school for a term, and I learnt 2 sentences. So that's about as far as my knowledge goes. And then from doing the Argentine lineups, I did a video almost in completely Spanish. So that helped me out. Well, it was the intro in Spanish and the names, of course, had that Argentinian flair there. And also my friend is dad. My friend is dad is David Hill there, and Bob Jobs said RIP. Shane Warne sad as us, says Bob Jobs. Yeah, very unexpected, and losing an Aussie cricketing legend as well. And yeah, king of leg spin. I think no one really at all can can disagree. That's the word. Distribute. That sounds like I'm kind of shipping out packages. That's what distribution is, isn't it? But yeah, disagree. The one that I was after. But currently, okay, Beauden Barrett, he is now on the field for the Blues. So they've decided they've seen enough of Harry Plummer. Now Beauden Barrett needs to take this moment and see if he can get this one going. Like they're saying, he's a playmaker. He's a match winner. Beauden Barrett twice. He has won Player of the Year. Can he go out there for the Blues and have an amazing performance after not playing for the Blues for a little while? And Chiefs, please show some mercy for the Blues. Says Stanley Murphy. Although Beauden Barrett, he's out there now, and he will certainly not be showing any mercy towards the Chiefs in this game. Currently, they are just showing the lineup. So it was Harry Plummer who did start at 10, but now Beauden Barrett out there on the field, and Weber 100th did score the first try, and it was an absolutely incredible try for Brad Weber as well. But Beauden Barrett, you'd have to say the pressure is certainly on him currently to try and turn this game around. You don't normally get replaced at halftime unless you've had a shocker, and they do want that new guy to go on the field and really have an impact. But now Brad Weber kicks the ball high. Getting in behind, and it's going to be taken nicely by Stephen Petafeta. And him and Beauden Barrett actually link up very nicely as a 10 and 15 combo. Same with Barrett and Zahn Sullivan. Drop ball by Alex Hodgman. Mistake made early, and it will be the Chiefs. Oh, Brodie Retallick just giving a little bit of a push there to Finley Christie in the face. I feel like there's a little bit of the All Black, I guess you could say, just the friendliness and the banter, but also when Finley Christie wanted the ball, Brodie Retallick said, no, go away. Just swatted him away, really. And Josh Ioane, please show mercy to Beauden Barrett. There says Stanley Murphy. They are the two in the thumbnail, and they are certainly both going to need a good second half. Whoever has the better game at fly half, I would arguably say their team is winning for the second half, which is a big call because we got Bryn Gatlin later on in there, and By Plummer, as well says Josh, and you know you can only a Russia thing. And it says game on, dude. I do, but I haven't really read into it too much. And also, I'm not really allowed to talk about it on live stream because YouTube do have strict policies and whatnot about, like, you've got to pretty much mark a video as you're talking about it, if that makes sense. Now, Brad Weber going back. I'm watching the game, says Power Force there. I hope you are enjoying it so far. Alex Nankerville trying to go straight through, but he's wrestled down by Nepo Lalala, almost turned over by Papa Lee, but they needed 2 men try and clean him out. Straightening there, it was Quinta Pye driven backwards in the tackle. Nicely done. I see that they haven't gone with Balin Sullivan as well for the starting lineup. I would have possibly looked at having him at... Wait, no, I'm thinking of the wrong man. Balin Sullivan, he was the Hurricanes boy, wasn't he? Was he? Yeah, he used to be the Chiefs, but then he transferred to the Hurricanes, and Wade is Rico playing. He is indeed. And Beauden the Barrett, or the Beauty Barrett. And yeah, and also same on my TV, I am watching it. Says a game on, dude. And Chiefs next try, please take him beautifully in the air by Quinta Pye now. Wasn't quite wrestled down by, it was Stephen Petafeta. Now that time, Rico Ioane making the tackle. Brad Weber goes back across 40 metres out. Ioane now off to Tia. Tia trying to go straight through. Finds the offload on the outside to Josh Lord. Continues to drive his way forward. Nankerville with a juggle. Going to Brad Weber on the inside. He's going to be dragged down there. And Kurt Eklund, once again for the 3rd time in this match, gets the turnover in the breakdown. Now Finley Christie Pearson through a great low tackle from Brad Weber right around the bootlaces. Was able to drag him down. Caleb Clark has got that one still on the side of the Blues. Both sides just ruthless in the breakdown. And it is going to now be the scrum feed for the Blues by on 1% as well. Says game on doing the scrum half for the Blues. Went straight. Brodie Retallick, bad idea, says Power Force. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Brodie Retallick, probably, yeah, not the best man. Even if you're not a halfback, if you're anyone on the opposition team, normally it's not a good idea going at Brodie Retallick. Chase T. Found that little flick out the back. And then from there, Josh Lord, he did have the ball in hand. Found the offload on the inside to Nankerville. He then offloaded it to Brad Weber. And then from there, they just continue to build up phases until once again, it's just a little bit of the dagger in the soul. That's a weird way of saying it. What's it? A kink in the side? No, what's the saying? Little bit of a kink in the rope? No. A problem for the Blues is Kurt Eklund currently, or a problem for the Chiefs, sorry, is Kurt Eklund, because he just keeps on stealing that ball when he gets the opportunity. Barrett should be in the start list, says Abhishek there. Currently now, the Blues have got this one only about 20 metres out from their line. It's going to be fired back into the pocket, and Beauden Barrett now puts boot to ball. Looking for the touchline, does end up finding it, and the Chiefs decide against taking that one quickly. Now down to the halfway line, and Eklund MVP so far, exactly right. And Dalton Babalia hasn't gone for a turnover yet. Zed's power force. He's gone for, I think, one or two. But the problem is, because of how strong he is at getting turnovers, everyone knows how good he is in the breakdown. So I think I've seen the last, even in this half, he's gone in for one, and then two players go and clean him up. All Brad Weber just doing a little bit of a cheeky ankle there, and he has gone into touch. So not what they would have been wanting. And where can we watch? Or where we can watch this game, says Abhishek. So you said you are in Fiji. So I believe is it Sky Sport Pacific or something along those lines that you guys have got as your option. What else have we got? Premier Sports? No, Sky Pacific will be where you can watch that game in Fiji. If you do have a subscription there, is the only way to watch this one through subscription-based things. There's a flyer near at the moment, and it seems like it has no idea what's going on. Oh, it just left. Maybe it heard me. Stephen Petafetta straight through, offloads it back, and it's going to be a 10.09 Satoro who was in support. Beautifully done, and come on, you couldn't see Sebastian, of course, getting themselves the win over Newcastle. And the Premiership kicked him behind. Massive boot downfield. This could go dead. If it keeps on rolling, it's going to be just a couple meters short. Harry Plummer's actually still out on the field. So who is Beauden Barrett out there for? It might be for Roger Tuivasa-sheck now that I look around. Maybe. Unless I put Roger Tuivasa-sheck out on the wing. No, I see Mark Talia there. And he was the player I would have said was more than likely injured. So they've stuck with Harry Plummer, and also I believe it's Roger Tuivasa-sheck that they ended up replacing Beauden Barrett for. So that's actually a big change to having Brad Weber is short, but he is tough. And there he sure is. That's gone over the top to Eklund. Now putting in the chip and chase there, the big man. He can do everything out on the field at the moment. But Sean Stevenson taking that one nicely. Receives the ball from Chase Teatu, who now puts the kick in behind. No, he doesn't. Hoskins Atutu charges it down. Grubbers it in mind. Trying to win the foot race, but Josh Ioane doesn't put it down. That's going to be the try to the Blues. Josh Ioane, huge mistake. Didn't want to carry it back, and because of it, it might have just cost his team the side. And I missed you. Wait, Willie in the building. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also, Beauden Barrett is on fullback. Although I still see Stephen Petafetta. So where is Petafetta at this point in time? And I was 1,000 on the Blues today, brother. Says the weirdest Willie there. So the big question is, was Josh Ioane obstructed here, or is this going to be the first try of the second half? And could it be Hoskins Atutu? Does get to go to the Blues, 100% true supporter for life. And there says Leo L. Right, Glenn Newman going upstairs. So Chase Teatea, it was charged down in the end by Hoskins Atutu. Then from there, kicked it in behind. Does he have any obstruction? I would say there's minimum contact. I think that's going to be an easy try for Satutu there. I think Quinton Pai was trying to say, oh, hang on, late tail in the tape. Dalton Papali'i charged that down. So does that mean Hoskins Satutu, he would have to be behind him? So was he behind him? That's probably the bigger one that we're looking at. There was literally like nothing on Josh Ioane. I think I'm looking more at whether or not Hoskins Satutu was in front, but I don't think that's what the commentators or the referees are looking at. It's going to be the try to Hoskins Satutu. But yeah, was he in front for that charge down? They're saying it's a charge down by Hoskins Satutu. From that other angle, though, I believe it was Papali'i who did end up charging it down. Now we all go like this. And we will go Papali'i. I think it hit the hands of Papali'i. So they are saying Satutu did end up getting the charge down. But in the end, it was just a little bit of a late mistake from Josh Ioane. And I did mention about whoever has the better of the flyouts between Beauden Barrett and Ioane late. We're going to be good. And why would you bring off Roger for Plummer with what the hell, McDonald? And there's Josh. And also, here we go. There come on, Chiefs. And they're from Nuvman now firing the ball back out the back. Stephen Petafetta, they've taken the lead, though. Now the game is sitting 17 points to 12 favor of the Blues. And our Chiefs got this easy As I says, and also how's my Matty today? Still the same as it probably was last time you asked. We don't really do a lot here. Oro no go the Blues. And there says Leo Albert now currently 47 minutes into this game. And have you left the house? Yeah, I did leave the house a little while ago. I went outside because George was here, so I had to go outside. Other than that, though, nah, pretty safe inside. It's got pizza in the freezer, so we're all good. But outside, Takiao going to the front there to Peter Gasoakula, now Weber. Back across to Gatlin. So actually Josh Ioane being replaced now for that late mistake. So both sides not very happy with their start and fly halves throughout this game. And go Chiefs. And there says Stanley Murphy. Bit of a counter right there from the Blues. Doesn't quite work out though. Samasoni Takiao does protect. Oh, actually it's Tia on the field for Gatland. Instead, Rico Ioane now down the wing. His foot was in touch though. I guess they just say they were looking for offside charge down before they go upstairs, don't they? Says Josh. So yeah, I guess that is one thing. It did benefit them there because I believe straight away everyone said it's come off the hands of Hoskins a 2-2. I think it did go off the hands of Dalton Pabali, and also we have got there Asia's Hermit Kingdom. And then also no way Blues. And there says Leo Albert currently now. Who is that? Okay, Tupavai looks like he's got a little bit of pain in the Achilles. No, he's sprung back up. He's all good. He's going to be continuing here now. But 45 meters out, and it's going to be the scrum feed, or in fact, so the line out. That would be the line out of the Chiefs. So it's only Takiaro. Something that he will be working on many times over is that line out throw. If he can start getting it right a lot more often, he can certainly get himself a spot in the All Blacks permanently in that starting lineup. Perhaps him and Asafa Moa, I think, are in the same boat. Both phenomenal runners of the ball. Both very good in the scrum. Both good in the breakdown. But it is just that next stage, which is that line out throw that they do want to try and get right. But now Peter Gasoakula, 45 metres out from their own line here. The Chiefs firing it back. Gatland puts the ball high with the box kick. It looks like Sean Stevenson is jogging after that one. Peter Feta juggling that one big time. But now Bowden Barrett inside of the 22. Does kick it across field. And it's a awkward one. It turned Quintapaya inside out completely. But now still going to be available. Ducking under that tackle at Denai Nana. Satoro going straight through. He's lost his boot. He doesn't care. He's in his sock and he throws it on the inside of Brad Weber, who steps now 5 meters out. Now going back across. Bryn Gatlin, deliberate knockdown from Caleb Clark. That's going to be possibly a yellow card. Ball dropped by Josh Lord, and it's going back for the penalty house. Tuivasa doing combo with Rico. He was going all right in the first half, I thought, but they've taken him off. They've actually left Harry Plummer out there, and also not bad that you are an indoor person rather than an outdoors person. And there's Danny Lewis. Well, the thing is, I'm probably still a relatively outdoors person. It's just like you can't really do too much like outside at the moment. Caleb Clark goes to the bin for 10 minutes now, which is not what the Blues would have been after. And also, surely outdoors, he's always broadcasting from a different stadium. So it's a mention. That's true. We're in Auckland today for that background. And also, yes, Blues, says Leo Albert. That was brilliantly done by Atenai Nana Satoro. Even though he lost one of his boots, he didn't care. He just kept on going. Quintapai got turned inside out. The ball didn't find touch. Then from there, Atenai Nana Satoro, he actually ducked under the tackle of Mark Talia. I think that's one of the first times in a very long time I have seen someone duck under a tackle. He was just in his sock, passed it on the inside of Brad Weber, and they were very close. Then from there, Caleb Clark got the fingertip to it to cause the yellow card. Oh, okay, so they're saying he was offside and he knocked it down deliberately. Oh, so that's why it's a yellow card. Tell you what, if he's offside as well, that's debatable. I guess you'd say, and they lost a key player to the bin. They did indeed. And also now let's go Chiefs. You can't even go to a park. Or the park says, Danny, you can. There's just nothing at our local park that you can really do. Like me and George sometimes go there, but that is going to now be a little bit of the shakiness there. But pretty much at the moment, like you're better off just, if you're going to go outside, you're just better off like going in your backyard or something like that, just because you know where your backyard is and who's been in your backyard. I'd like to think I know who's been in my backyard, but you wouldn't even know sometimes at a time for the Chiefs. Take back the lead, says Stanley Murphy there. Currently now the Chiefs, they have got the scrum 10 meters out from the line here. Currently Pakistan versus Australia. There's only 15 minutes away. The test match just joined the action. Hamish was Rico being greedy. In this game, says Drew. He's looked a lot better in this game compared to the last one in terms of the, I guess you could say, slight. What am I trying to say? I'm just going like this at this stage. In terms of picking when to hold on to the ball and when to pass it type thing. And only dodgy people for the Barks Oh, only dodgy people go to the parks. Legends fancy the pub. And come on, Chiefs, says Fergus. It's a good push. They've got the advantage. Peter Gus-Sowakula finally offload to Weber. Second try in his 100th. And he scores again. And the team are celebrating with him. And the Chiefs make the most of that man advantage. Brad Weber scores the try now in the 51st minute. We're going to have to go like that. We're going to have to go like that as well. And Brad Weber scores 2 in this game. Can he go on to get the hat-trick? Xavier Rowe will be sitting on the sideline going, I'm never getting out onto the field at this stage, Brad Weber, on their 100th match. And the Chiefs have a big chance to score. Yep, they did indeed. And they have done just that. But it was Brad Weber who was able to pierce through Weber and had worn autograph one time and signed everyone. Autographed gentleman waiting for fans. He signed them all as well, says Bob Jobs. And yeah, 52 years of age, I believe he was. Way too soon for Shane Warne. And Brad Weber 100 as well, says Tainui. And he's doing extremely well in this matchup, Brad Weber. I'm just looking at some of the stats. He's already had like 50 metres carried. Hawke's Bay, Brad, as on there, says Sebastian. He has been looking extremely sharp. And this one, we will go like that. And we will go like that. Now for the conversion, says Novmum. 17 all. Bring Gatlin lining up this kick. So they've decided to give him kicking responsibilities rather than Ioane. He has got it over. I've noticed I always lean as if I can see a different angle if I go over here. It's still the same. It's the same screen. I just try and check it. Got my Hurricanes jersey signed by the captain, Artie Savia. Says Power Force, which is pretty awesome and all right. And there says Novmum. Currently now 19 points to the Chiefs, 17 to the Blues. And Ofa Tuivasa makes his way out there for Hodgman. That is because of the situation that does kind of, that was a weird sentence, but pretty much because he dropped the ball a few too many times is the simplest way of putting it. Boy, Alex Hodgman taken nicely there by Josh Lord at the back and now continuing to try and get that rolling maul going forward here. Who's in the flyout for the Chiefs? Stanley Murphy. So currently they've got Bryn Gatlin first receiver, Josh Ioane at fullback. Now they decided to switch those two around a little bit. There was a big charge down from Tom Robertson who just kind of glided over the top. Peter Gus-Sowakula keeps that ball in the field of play, but now Christie receives the offload. Pass the ball out the back line. Knock on from Bowden Barrett. Knock on from Quintapai, and everyone's dropping the ball. So we're going back for the scrum, and Bowden Barrett not too happy with that one. Doesn't quite pick it up cleanly. So the Blues curse always looking good on paper, then only blunders on the field as well, says Kiras. And that's the thing. Currently, like going into that first game up against the Hurricanes, they were favourites to win it. Going into this game, they were favourites to win it. How has Peter Gus-Sowakula kept that ball in the field of play as a number 8? Done absolutely incredibly there. But yeah, I would say at this point in time, like the Blues, I'd like to think they're just going to need a couple days or a couple more matches to try and find that gel that will stick them together. But they certainly need a couple wins soon. And also, happy birthday to Big Norm. Class act as well, says Sebastian. And yeah, we have got our Q&A with the ex-All Black Norm Maxwell. That will be coming out on about Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I believe it will be. And also, it is extremely painful to watch as a Blues supporter, says Senza. The Blues win this game, says Leo L. And I guess the big thing is it's only 2 points difference between these two sides. And come on, Chiefs, says Stanley there as well. But 5 minutes left of the Caleb Clark yellow card. And watching from Colorado. Thanks for the coverage, says Fergus. Appreciate you being here, mate. What time is it in Colorado at the moment? You guys must be sitting. Is it early morning or kind of mid-morning sometime around there? Fergus, do let me know. My time zones are terrible in terms of me being able to work out the change. That's a lot of pressure on Brad Weber there with Bowden Barrett and also Tom Robertson. They've turned it into a maul. And now it's going to be a straight turnover. And Savasoni is the man. Says Stanley. He's certainly a dangerous individual. And then you look at the bench that they have got, and I believe it is going to be Bradley Slater, who has been going very nicely for Taranaki as of recently. He can actually, that's the thing, Bradley Slater for Taranaki did end up playing loose forward. And also he is a hooker by nature, like in position, I should say. And also Easy Tiger game are not done yet as well. And there's his Drew, and also Bowden Barrett will score a try, and Savasoni is the man from that. And stay strong, says Kadas, for that one. And of course, it is going to be a very exciting finish to this game. New Zealand derbies are always, like, you always have, it's always a back and forth. Like, no matter what it says on the scoreboard, there's always moments for both sides. Like this next game that we are covering, Hurricanes versus the Highlanders, it's going to be a good one as well. It must be evening, late night in the US. Says Sebastian, yes, I went the wrong way. I went backwards on the clock by 16 or so hours, or 20 hours rather than going forward. It must be late at the moment. Yeah, my time zones are not good. Harry Plummer, cross kick, out to Mark DeLeo, who does put the ball down, but they're going back for the original penalty. It's a nice scrummage from the Blues, 45 metres out from their line. I believe they will be kicking this one for touch, and they will give the ball, I would think, more than likely to Bowden Barrett for this one. But currently, Ollie Norris looks like he's ready to go. Also, Kalen Boshier is another player who is just about to make his way out onto the park for the Chiefs. But those two very good individuals to have coming off the bench. Also, if they do need him, they've got Anton Leonard-Brown a little bit later on. I see Amoni Narawa on the touchline. They must just be resting him because he had a phenomenal game that first match up against the Highlanders, and ring those cowbells for the mighty Chiefs. Ding, 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 ding. And they up from Johnny Blaze, and also, 80 minutes not counting my chickens yet, as well, says Garas, and why is Plummer still on the park? It baffles me, says Xavier. Yeah, first of all, like when I saw the fact that Bowden Barrett was out on the field, my brain went, right, Plummer's off. He hasn't had a good game. Take him off. Bowden Barrett fly half with Tuivasa-sheck, Rico Ioane as the back line. But they went with Tuivasa-sheck off, so I don't know whether or not that has something more to do with maybe Leon McDonald feels that Tuivasa-sheck being so early on in his union career might, I don't know, does he feel he might give away a couple penalties or something later on in the game that might cost them? It's pretty much the only thing I can think of why you would keep Plummer out there. Unless, of course, Bowden says he doesn't want to kick. But then Peter Feta's very good goal kicker. That man has not gone down very comfortably at all for Kalen Boshier. Welcome to the field, mate. And now going back across 10 p.m. Friday. So says Fergus. So a nice late night game of rugby on a Friday night. Wide cutout pass out to Josh Ioane. Sells the dummy. Rico Ioane does tackle him and also go the Blues. Dong, 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 dong. In there as well, says Leo. And also the sound effects from Sebastian there. Oh. A quick yawn. Myself, but currently now, Brad, we were going to be rolling this ball back. Does put up the box kick. And close to the touch line. And it's taken nicely by Mark Tilly. He's been good under the high ball for a majority of this match. Almost been out up, it is going back across now. Sam Knock. Bounce pass off to Harry Plummer. Out to Bowden Barrett now. Drawing past to Rico Ioane. Tries to go through, but a two-man tackle on him. And it's a penalty there. Did end up getting up and going again. Or actually round from the side. Was one of them and go Chiefs, bang, bang, bang. And now I think we need to choose McDonald or Chase McDonald and Harry Plummer away from Auckland. And also Plummer is so one-dimensional. McDonald's substitute decisions are a head scratcher, says Josh. And I think we saw that in the first game as well, didn't we? Up against the Hurricanes. Caleb Clark, he's getting close to being able to make his way back out onto the field now. It's going to be a good kick downfield from Bryn Gatlin, though. And now 20 metres out from the line. The line-out throw will be going the way of the Chiefs. Anton Leonard-Brown is making his way out there for Alex Nankerville. And now Quintabai and Alex Nankerville. We have seen, Quintabai and Leonard-Brown. Actually seen them both in recent history together in that midfield combo for not just the Chiefs, but also for the All Blacks. I believe they got a game or two in that combination. But Anton Leonard-Brown's shoulder injury has kept him out for a little while. He's now going to be back. And will be raring to go up against this tough outfit in the Blues. Currently only 2 points difference. Angus Tava also out on the field. That will be for Sione Mafaleo. Just looking through at anyone else I can see who's been replaced. I know that was Aiden Ross off the field for Ollie Norris. We didn't really see too much of Aiden Ross in terms of that running. And Sam Derry also out there for Luke Romano. Now, Peter Gus-Sowakola, that was not a good ball from Brad Weber. Too low. Harry Plummer gets the turnover on the ground. Off to Eklund now, trying to bump through the tackle of Weber. And now Blues got this and go Anton Leonard-Brown. And there says Stanley Murphy, stolen by Sam Cane, but we are going back for the initial scrum. Is going to be going in favour of the Blues with Sam Cane at the moment. Just having a bit of a chat with Kurt Eklund. I feel like those two in the breakdown today have been absolutely phenomenal. It's just a competition. I think Eklund's got about 3 or 4 turnovers. Sam Cane's won a couple of penalties for his side as well, alongside Kurt Eklund. So both of them just continue to go and go and go. And whoever is going to be able to win maybe that crucial penalty in the later stages. I thought I heard his name. It's Nick White, the Chiefs assistant coach. I thought, like, when I heard it, I was like, hang on, isn't he playing for the Brumbies later on? But then I realized, spelt differently, Nick on the end. So he has got the K as the one big difference. It looks weird seeing Nick White as the name there and hearing a name or hearing a voice that's not the Nick White that we probably associate more with the current Brumbies outfit. Currently, Stephen Petafeta, good drive forward. And once this ball does end up going out, it will be the replacement being made for the Blues. But Finley Christie off the field. And that is Sam Knock now who is there. Sam Knock not too happy with Marcel Renate. He said, get up and get in front of me so that I can kick this one downfield. Does end up kicking it high there. Very nicely done, or is it? No, it's going into touch on the fall from Sam Knock. Uh-oh. So now it's Caleb Clark. He is allowed to make his way back out onto the field. Leon McDonald, how much here will he have left at the end of the season? He's already probably tried to rip some of it out from last week, but this week now he's got another opportunity to try and get himself a sponsorship for some sort of regrowth thing. I feel like that would be a good one. Like, because last week he was really like ripping into his scalp. That's the word. Skull and scalp. Combining the two to sculpt. Sculpt sounds like you're like trying to like scull something and then you accidentally gulp too well and then you end up choking on air. Kicked in behind from Sean Stevenson. So it's going to be an awkward one, but Bowden Barrett takes it nicely. He doesn't put it down. Now he gets it down. Now it's a goal line dropout. Just a little bit of extra pressure on Barrett there than he would have liked, though. And now it will be the goal line dropout. Bryn Gatlin and Don Leonard Brown. Quick distribution straight to Sean Stevenson, who was going round on the outside. Sam Knock was looking across to Bowden Barrett. And then did end up getting wrestled down to the ground. Nick White versus Porn Mustache Nick. And there's Sebastian there. Yeah, he certainly didn't have as impressive of a mustache as the other Nick White, that is for sure. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. In 45 minutes' time, it is going to be our next live stream starting, and that will be the game that has taken place between the Blues. That's a lie, they're playing now. The Hurricanes and the Highlanders. That's going to be a very good game, though. Followed by the Brumbies when they are taking on the Waratahs. The Blues just have a lack of solid game plan, or they just lacked a solid game plan for long. It feels individual talent winging it every time doesn't cut it. Exactly right. Now it's going to be back across to Joshua. He gives it off to Bryn Gatlin. Now Anton Leonard Brown pierces the line. Brilliant run from him, but dragged down by Tuivasa-sheck. There's plenty of All Blacks out on the field at the moment. It's going to be Retallick under a big amount of pressure trying to counter-ruck there. It's a good one from the Blues, and they've been able to turn it over, or have they? They've got the penalty for it instead. No, they haven't. They've reversed the penalty. Okay, so he gave the penalty to the Blues. Then he was like, you know what? Never mind. We'll give it to the Chiefs. And I believe they will take on the 3 points perhaps from here. But Tuivasa-sheck might have got a finger in the eye. But like I said, just glad Ruru is gone. The sooner Plummer realizes he's not close to the All Blacks, the sooner he'll leave for Japan. And there says Xavier as well. But yeah, I think the biggest one that the Chiefs are probably missing this year would be Damian McKenzie. Who's the biggest player the Blues are missing to Japan? Probably, I mean, a lot of people would say Terry Black, but I'd probably say Kauli Tuioti in the locking department. Who else have they lost? I think he's the only one I can think of that's gone to Japan. I think. Other than, of course, Teddy Black. But other than that, I think they are the two players for the Blues. But Gerard Kauli Tuioti, he was looking like a solid aspect and a solid prospect for them. The front row, and agreed. No game plan whatsoever. Every player just doing his own thing as well, says Karas. And Tui Polotu, that is a big name. Sorry, forgot about him. I like how I mentioned the one lock who's probably the lesser known lock out of the two of them. Unfortunately, but of course, Tui Polotu, very big player to go to Japan. And no, Harry Plummer, stay on the field. You're unwillingly playing for the Chiefs. As I says Johnny Blaze there, but now Bryn Gatlin will be lining up this kick. Just out from 40. He's got some decent distance. He struck that one quite nicely. It hits the post and comes back. How many times is that left post going to get hit by both sides in this matchup? That's the third time already. Jesse versus Tom at the Brumbies and the Wallabies as well. Says it was Jason there in the chat. But currently now that's going to be another one that is going to be going away from points. Xavier now again his way on the field, and Brad Weber, 100th match. I'll give him a clap. He scored 2 tries in this game as well, even though there's not a lot of a crowd there at Eden Park. He's certainly been playing well, Brad Weber, for this matchup, and now we'll be looking to have another 50 matches perhaps in the future. He's sitting at 31 years of age. I feel like that's still prime time for Brad Weber. That ball's been kicked downfield. What's going on here? Oh, it's the 22 dropout. They were just looking for the ball, I think. Wait, is it? No. What happened? Delayed call for a knock on? Yes, Sam Gary knocked the ball on there. So because of it, they will be continuing with the scrum feed only a few meters out from their own line. Not what the Blues would have been wanting for that one, but the Chiefs currently, they are sitting there. Oh, they've got $100 with Brad Weber on the front. Oh, well, and also 8 missed points could hurt us. So says Dark Raider, exactly right. 2 missed by Joshuani earlier on, and now that one missed by Bryn Gatlin. But currently for the Chiefs, they've got the 3 men up the top, including Sean Stevenson out on the wing, who will be heavily marked, I would think, because if not, can cause a lot of damage. It looks like Peter Gusto a caller. It's a penalty to the Blues. Out, then in. I said out, then in. As well, so that's gone against the Chiefs. I believe it was the front row off at Tuivasa-sheck who was able to take it to Ollie Norris and Clayton McMillan. Cannot believe it. I missed D-Mac. And there's Stanley Murphy. Is certainly one of the standouts, if not the standout, for Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021. And who wins the next game and by what score, says Jack Lewis. No matter what, that next game, I think both sides score 20-plus points. And that's just my prediction straight off the bat. They love playing fast-paced rugby between those two, with the Highlanders and the Hurricanes. And I would say if we end up, I'm going to go 29 to the Hurricanes, 25 to the Highlanders. Just as a first prediction, random numbers that came to my head. We'll go with also go the Blues get win for Tuin Gamala and Joel Videri as well. And they're all probably Inga the Wing is a better way of pronouncing that first one, just because I cannot do pronunciations too well. Charged down by Sam Derry. Jumps up for it. Doesn't get it though. No advantage. Little knock on. And also I think it will be a 3-3 final score. Nice. And also we're going to beat the Landers by 7-10, says Josh there. That next one, but we will be starting that live stream in about 45 minutes time or so. We're going to have about 20 minutes of build up where we do talk all about stats to this match, because there are plenty coming up, including that one that I was mentioning a little bit earlier on, that game in 2020, I believe it was, at Forsyth Bar. Those two sides had about 1,000 running meters combined in that game. If we get even half of that, that's still a high running game. So they just kept on going end to end in that matchup. But currently now it will be the scrum feed for the Chiefs, 35 or 45 in fact, out from their own line. And also we've got their 37-32, says Karas, in favour of the Hurricanes for that game. So I think everyone's back in Hurricanes, aren't they? Well, it looks like, other than Jack, who has said that it's going to be a 3-3 draw, of course. Like they're saying, everyone's just having a bit of a conversation in the front row. Someone was saying, how's that not a free kick? And then someone else said, but if it was a free kick, you'd just go scrum anyway, or something along those lines. And I think he realised, oh, yeah, I'll just be quiet. And also, no tries 3-3, mate. You're joking as us is through there. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't, like, if it was like a 21-21 draw, I would actually be like, it's not a terrible one. Overall, Quinta Pye, great crash ball. Finds the offload to Tino Nana Satoro's dragged down by not $500 a try. Straight into the pocket of the Tongan King as well. Says Johnny Blaze, and also Kane's 29 and Atlanta 14 from Jason. Now Bryn Gatlin passes off to Norris. He had his head snapped back in that tackle. Now Quinta Pye off at the wing of Fussy, unable to roll away quick enough, so they've given away the advantage. 13 minutes left now, and the Chiefs continue to build, I should say. Kalen Boschia now once again driving forward. Sean Stevenson, that's going to be going back for the penalty, as Xavier Rowe ended up wrong place, wrong time. Hurricanes 28, Highlanders 17. And now I think they allowed a few people in the crowd of KC's Power Force. Yeah, it seems to be pretty much, as long as they're spread out massively, I think they're allowed, it's either 100 or just under 1,000, I think. By the sounds of it, maybe about 500 all scattered throughout the ground, depending on the entrances that they do end up using. But currently now 68 minutes into this game, and Sam Cane said, we'll take on the 3 points this time. Will be a lot easier for Bryn Gatlin for this kick, and that will give them a 5-point lead. I think Sam Cane at the moment just asking a couple of questions to Ben O'Keefe of whether or not maybe there could be a card coming up relatively soon. But Quinta Pye breaking through the tackle of Harry Plummer, who just has not had the best game. I think he's hurt himself as well. He might have a sore wrist after that tackle attempt. And then from there, it was a good backline movement. Straight to Quinta Pye once again, and then off at Tonga Fussy, just unable to get out of that breakdown. Let's go Chiefs, says a Rio Gamer there. Currently now Bryn Gatlin will be lining this one up. Probability of 85%, angle of 14 degrees, and distance of 32. Right. Well, I would say if it's 85% chance of going over, he'll probably miss it to the left. No, it's gone straight over. He has done well. I'm glad that he got that one over, because I feel like I can only jinx someone so much in a game. And also, Father, that's right. Lets the people watch it as well, says Leo. And then still nervous. Chiefs need one more try at least, says Novman. That is definitely a guarantee there. Did Dalton Papali'i score a try? Why did I write Papali'i if it was Hoskins Tutu who scored it? For another try. I've just realized from earlier on, rather than writing Hoskins Tutu, I wrote Papali'i, and I think that's because he did end up charging it down. Oh, no. A moment I've taken away. Oh, I didn't even write what time he scored it in either for Tutu. So Tutu, I believe he scored it. When did Hoskins Tutu score? We're going that way. So we go 43. We just put 40, 43, 45. This is a nice play here. Well, then once again, it's actually AJ Lamb back out on the field, and I believe that will be for Harry Plummer. Surely they have replaced him now. Now down the wing at 39, Satora, and also Sup. Haven't seen you in a while, says Riley Bennett. Welcome into Livestream I, and he is just hopeless. And then go Blues, and then I hope Plummer's into for the next 6 weeks. And then go Chiefs, says Reed out to Caleb Clark. Great low tackle on him by Peter Gus Sowakula, but I believe it was the other man who went a little bit too high. Okay, Quintupire went just a tad too high there on Caleb Clark, and because of it, does lead to the penalty. Now the Blues. Okay, we go high as well, says Andrew Sinclair. I think, what was happening there with Caleb Clark and Ben O'Keefe? Not too sure what happened there. I think Caleb Clark was actually saying, I dropped to the knee a little bit more. So then from there, yeah, Quintupire with the high shot, debatable. But I think that's what Caleb Clark actually said. He went down and he showed his knee, and then I think Ben O'Keefe said, do you want me to reverse it? And then Caleb Clark just said, nah, I'll walk away. All right. And Andrea said, hi as well, welcome in. Liza and red cards, says Xavier, welcome in. Or no, you're not welcome in. Or you're already here, I should say. I don't know why I said welcome in for a red card. But no, it was just a penalty. So he was falling into it. So not a lot of mitigating factor there. But now around the side, going to be Ricky Riccatelli, 5 meters out for the Blues. 2 meters out now. They are continuing to get close. He can't roll away. But Peter Gus Sowakula going back across. I'm looking around for Dalton Papali'i at the moment. Getting extremely close. Where is the ball? Peter Gus Sowakula is still down. It's a penalty. Because of the numbers. He actually got stuck under 2 breakdowns in a row. I hope he's all right because he doesn't look like he's moved too much currently. Peter Gus Sowakula. And it might be him and also Sean Stevenson look like they're a little bit sore. And 2 losses start the season in finals. Is finals chance gone, isn't it? Not really. Home final possibly, but not finals completely gone because top 8 go through to the quarterfinals. It isn't like Super Rugby Aotearoa or Super Rugby Trans-Tasman that we did see. It was just the top 2 sides that go through. So it is just going to be the one for that one. And also we have got the Icon Street, but as well, says Riley, and also 2 losses in a row. And also I did see that out of the last 12 games, they've won 11 of them at Eden Park. So it certainly could be said that maybe the home crowd factor does help them out. But now Peter Gus Sowakula, he's trying to defend this one, but Robinson getting closer. Top 8 goes through. As us says Xavier, they do indeed. So they got plenty of time. This one's stuck underneath. It's a scrum feed there to the Blues now. Okay, 5 meters out. And they are going to have the scrum feed for the Blues. This one's going to be a close finish by the looks of it. But we've currently got another 35 minutes left of this game. Oh, no, sorry, that's a lie. 35 minutes till the next game. We will be starting our live stream, but it will be a 7:05 p.m. kickoff for anyone who does want to tune in for Highlanders taking on the Hurricanes. Should be a very entertaining contest, and we will have an updated table where everyone is sitting after this game also. But the Chiefs doing nicely for themselves in this game, but they need to hang on for the next 8 minutes. And penalty try coming up, says Xavier there. And visits to the opposition 22. The Chiefs have had a little bit more, but it is the Blues who have had more time inside of the opposition 22. Just about bringing up 4 minutes compared to the Chiefs, who are 3 minutes, 22 seconds. Feeding the ball in now. Gone down in the front row. We over scrum reset. Chiefs defense. Or defense. And there, as I said, Johnny Blades, I mean, you know a thing or two about building a fence, Johnny, I would think. What do they need for to increase the stability, I guess? They want plenty of it in the scrum, and it's just not quite happening as the front rows went down, so they do need to do it again. But currently, the time is off. We are sitting at 73 minutes through this game, ladies and gentlemen. The first game of today, we are doing 3 in a row, plus maybe game of the Curry Cup and the Gallagher Premiership, if my voice is handling a little bit of it chatting flat out. But currently Sam Knock about to feed this ball in now for the Blues. It's a free kick there. I believe they'll go with the scrum again. No gap on this side. And pretty decent fixture in the Premiership, Tigers versus Aries. The Sky Sport broadcasted in New Zealand. It is the one game of this weekend that we do get, so we've got to do it surely. If I do have a voice top of the table clash, other than, of course, the Quins, who did end up going up a little bit higher in the rankings now at second. But yeah, top two sides pretty much, top three sides, I guess you could say. And it is going to be a very awesome one to see who ends up getting the win. Defense Chiefs as well, says Stanley, and also Chiefs need to get the ball out of there and go the Chiefs, says Oldie, and also cheers Mickey, everyone for only supporting the Chiefs. Mana and Let's Go Blues, says the Uso there. Ball going in now, trying to make sure that they don't collapse here for the Chiefs. It's gone down. Too much movement. That was almost going to be a penalty favor of the Chiefs. And also let the people watch the game at Stadium Man, as says Leo, and also possibility for the Golden Point. I don't know whether they go to Golden Point for this one. I know that for the Bunnings NPC, we've got Golden Point. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if it is in the rules. See what everything you yawned a lot, man. And there says Ahmed, yeah, I think it is from that late night last night doing the live streams. And also this light, I don't know what it is, but it's the color of this light that seems to always just make me yawn. I don't know why. It's just something about it. Cough first versus third cough as well. Come on, Chiefs for shot. And there says Stanley. Currently, I am just looking up the rules of Super Rugby. 2 points for the draw, so you don't actually end up getting yourself the extra one there, but that's going off the back for Hoskins. A 2-2 met by Sam Kane, who muscles up and drives him backwards, ripped away almost by Peter Gasoakula, but still on their side. Ricky Riccatelli around the side. The Blues trying to close this one out at the end of this game. And they do need to try and make sure they go across the field. So it's a nice, easy kick. Rico Ioane out to Stephen Perofeta. Back in the pace. He's going on the outside. Mark Talia scores it almost in the corner. And that is going to be the try for the Blues. And they have been able to get themselves back into this game now. 22-all. Bring it home, boys, says the Uso. And tell you what, this is going to be a very interesting finish to this match. But it was a great run from Stephen Perofeta. They were caught on the back foot. The Chiefs defense, they just couldn't quite clear it from where they needed to. And in the 75th minute, we've got ourselves our third try of the match for the Blues. And this game's getting closer now. Let's go the Blues in there. But this will be a hard kick for whoever steps up, whether it's going to be Bowden Barrett, whether it's going to be Stephen Perofeta. I would prefer to see Stephen Perofeta take it. Honestly, that is nothing against Bowden Barrett, but I know that he's not 100% with the kicking. It's going to be Stephen Perofeta. Bet he misses now that I've said that. And also, we have got there, please miss the kick. I want to see the first golden point of the season. We won't go to golden point, though. It is 2 points for the draw. And also, miss kicks is Stanley. And also, come on, boys. At least they're ruining Saracens today would be the Quins, or in the Quins' favour. Never a day to support the series, says Sebastian. And also, the try, says Sebastian for the Blues and go Blues, says the fellow there. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more action coming for Super Rugby. We're doing every single game on the channel. So if you are new, be sure to stick around, and Perofeta going to make it. Says the Uso. He's a very talented kicker. Stephen Perofeta plays for Taranaki and actually had one of the highest kicking percentages in the Bunnings NPC. Can he continue? Go the Blues. As I says Leo L. Currently 3.5 minutes left. This will give them a 2-point lead. Perofeta strikes it nicely straight down the middle. And Stephen Perofeta does convert. When you put pressure on that man, he always delivers. And the Blues, that man's taken off his shirt. He is that excited. Doing a bit of a dance. The game's not over yet, though. And blowing his screens to create wind to blow the ball so it misses as well. And Aubergine is there with the clap, and also mate Amar Blues. And now misses Stanley to get it over. And also Arnold has said Johnny. Yeah, but currently they do need to close out this game. We've seen it. I mean, we watched the Blues versus Hurricanes game. We watched the Brumbies taking on the Western Force game. We know that there are such things as a last-minute try or a penalty. And currently the Chiefs, they're trying to win themselves one. And also Perofeta in there. And let's get 3 more Blues. And also Chiefs could score and take the win. Even if they get a penalty over, they will win this game. And dig deep, Chiefs says Johnny Blaze and go. Chiefs says Stanley there. Right. 2.5 minutes left. And it looks like now Sam Knott will be putting up the kick. And Chiefs only need a kickable penalty here. Exactly right. Will be Bryn Gatlin, who will have to take on the kick if it does end up happening. That's going to be taken nicely by Hoskins. It was a box kick that went about 2 meters. It's a very tall box. That's a penalty now to the Blues. So as many phases as they can use up here, the better. They will be trying their best now. Bowden Barrett, little chip in behind. I don't agree with that from Bowden. Not the best choice. Bradley Slater takes it, and now they're going back for the penalty. I think he just wanted to get it as far up the field. And as I told you, Perofeta is my backup 10. As I was says Xavier there, and he certainly has got the best goal kicking around when it comes to the Bunnings FBC. Another try for the Blues. And there says Anaru. Currently now offside penalty against the Chiefs. 1 minute 45 left. I would have thought Beauden Barrett would have waited a little bit longer there. Maybe gone for a couple more phases using your forwards. Worst comes to worst, you go back for that penalty and you've only got a minute on the clock rather than the 2. And Osakama Blues dive for the Blues. Says Leo L there, but currently now 24 points to 22 here. And Beauden Barrett puts it into touch. There's so much pressure on the line-out throw now, and I believe Ricky Riccatelli will be the man who has now got it. Currently going to be 42 metres out. If they win this one here for the line-out, they will only have another minute to go. Can they do it? The Blues, can they get themselves their first win of the Super Rugby Pacific season? Push themselves towards that top 8 or so. I think it is actually only top 8. If you're in the top 8, you are pretty much, you've had one win so far in the season. Hardly, I believe, Blue. And there says Anaru and Ricky Riccatelli, the man who's come from the Hurricanes now. Got to try and line up this line-out throw. Where will they be going? They go to the front, almost stolen by Kalen Boshier. And now it is going to be the rolling maul at the back. This is brilliant for the Blues. They'll use up plenty of time in this position. It is the Blues with the rolling maul currently 45 metres out, and they are just sitting at the back. They will be told to use it very soon, and they will only need 2 phases to be able to close it out. Ricky Riccatelli goes short side, straight on the ball there. I don't think that was a clear release from Xavier Rowe. He doesn't win the penalty, though. Now the Blues going back. Once again, hanging on to this. 20 seconds left now. At least we don't have James Parsons anymore, says Xavier there. And now Sam Knock going across to Ricky Riccatelli. Stackled. Still 10 minutes. They got to be careful not to seal off, as a comment from the commentator. Counter ruck from Kalen Boshier. Only one, though, to go for it. Now Ricky Riccatelli, he has done his job. There's going to be back. It's a penalty to the Chiefs. And they have got one on the far side. Oh, Tom Robertson ended up standing on Peter Gastoakula's hand. He's going, oh, that hurt a little bit. And also we have got their Blues, yes, and also Blues Nation. If you're an alien, you're an alien if you bleed blue. And also lose the line out Blues. And also, hey, Hamish, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well. This is an exciting contest to have for the first match of today. Come on, Chiefs, says Rio Gamer. Now Bryn Gatlin kicks it downfield. And this is going to be the last opportunity. So I believe this one, Tom Robertson in front of Ofa Tuangafasi. And now Leon McDonald, that was a hard hand clap from that man. He is not happy. He had to almost tear his hair out last week for the Hurricanes. He'll be tearing out Hoskins Tutu's here if he doesn't end up winning this one against the line-out throw. No, they go to Robinson. Big Red almost getting the ball. This one gets stuck on the ground. No, it is out the back. 40 metres out now. Little bit of a mix-up. It's another penalty to the Chiefs. This could be kickable. 40 metres out for Bryn Gatlin. Do you go for the corner, though? Has he got the distance? I don't know whether he does. Taking the man in the air. They've taken the shot, and Bryn Gatlin now to take the kick. Go Chiefs. This is all going to come down to this kick. 45 out on the angle for Bryn Gatlin to try and win this game for the Chiefs. But it was in the end unlucky there for Tom Robertson. He had hands on Peter Gastoakula's forearms, hence why Peter Gastoakula had a harder landing, and Gatlin missed it as LC6 and no, says Anaru, and let's go Blues, says William. And this one, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. This one's going to be a close one. And it all comes down to the kick. We're 82 minutes and no got on point, mate. Our Blues got this, as Al says Leo L. And this one, it will be for the full 3. Whoever loses this game gets themselves a bonus point for being within 7. He's going to miss it. Gatlin says Anaru at the moment. The Blue supporters blow the screen Blues so they can miss it. And there says Norma Jean. Gatlin, 45 metres out. Probability of 62%. There for this kick, and it is going to be a 26% angle as well here. Now the Blues 2 points ahead. Anton Leonard Brown watching from behind. Believe that was the full-time siren. Gatlin lining it up. He's only missed one today. Is it going to be another one? It's close for Gatlin. It's away to the left, and that is going to be missing. The Blues will win this game. Straight away, Nato Akoi goes over to him, says, don't worry about that one, mate. And the Blues have managed to get on Cheese. Yeah, he strikes it perfectly. Let's go. And there it says Johnny Blaze and also Miss says X there. An expletive says not mummy, yes, Blues. And there says William. And also Liam did decide he wanted to try and spoil it for everyone. You got to be careful doing that, Liam. You might get timed out next time. And also we have there you go Chase says MH Choi. They want to eat that, says Hex. It's a brutal man. Yeah, but the Blues winning this game 24 points to 22. And ain't no clutch like Peter Feta. And that dang it, Mackenzie Clutch, where are you? in the SC's Brio game. And the fact that I think Ioane is still out on the field, but they decided to not use him, that's very close, probably about that much missing. And Bryn Gatlin, he couldn't quite believe it. But Ngātai Koe, you got to respect him. He went straight over to him, said, like, don't worry about it, mate. Like, these things happen. Gave them a good fight. And yes, Blues says to fellow. And also, well, that's unfortunate. And there says Sebastian. And also, we've got their no, says Jason. That one, but that is going to be the end of this one, a kick it to victory. And also, so what's your streaming schedule? Says Danny Lewis. Our next one's going to be starting at 6:45. That will be the Hurricanes taking on the Highlanders. That is going to be the first one. Yeah, I think Josh Ioane was out there for the whole game, but didn't want to take on that last kick. And what did Barrett bring? Not a lot overall, I wouldn't say. He didn't kick. He didn't really distribute brilliantly overall because he didn't really get too many touches of the ball overall. Bloody hell, should have been, or used the bro Ioane as well. Says Rio game, and also who do you follow? Says Jack Lewis. At this stage, I am pretty impartial for most of the Super Rugby games.
What happened?
What happened? You missed. It's a bit blunt, wasn't it? And I was like, yes, please as well.
I whispered.
And also, we have got there, if they had Mackenzie, they would have won as well, says Caleb, and also bonus points, says MH Joy. So they do still get themselves the bonus point. That is correct. So the next game, that will be the one that I did mention, Hurricanes versus Highlanders, followed by the next game after that, it will be the Brumbies, and they will be taking on the opposition in the Waratahs. Then after that, we might have the Curry Cup and maybe some of the Gallagher Premiership, but Hurricanes 25 or 20 or 32-25, and Barrett really had a great game, a bit of a junior man, says Josh, and also Blues win today, says Roman. They did indeed. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back in only about 25 minutes time for our next live stream, which is going to be the Hurricanes taking on the Islanders. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in a